1,000 people instantly.
Top of Twitch.
We should be so
go.
lucky.
Top of Twitch. Here we go. Most popular category: D&D. Hannibal. 3188.
All right, we're on there. How's it sound?
Sounds
good.
Yet.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
We hearing things? Sounding good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do I
All
sound
right.
good?
Tell me.
I sound slightly quieter.
Tell me if this is too
yeah.
loud. Well, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
mic's
How do I
over
sound?
here. That's just you're just gonna have to speak up a little bit.
That sounds very
It's
loud.
probably gonna be really loud. So we'll
It's
see.
delayed, so it'll come here in a second.
Yeah. Bueno.
Hey, Jordan, say something.
Hello.
That was fairly loud.
How do
That
we
was pretty
announce-
loud.
How do we announce
It wasn't like
your
ear deafening,
How
but
do
it
we
was pretty
pronounce
loud.
your character?
Zatuo.
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 Definitive.
I will. I'll try and keep it on the paper then, so I don't deafen anyone, and then I'll get a dice box at some point.
Okay, even Jordan comes across pretty well.
You come across one? Okay, cool.
Zatuo.
And we can always, like, after this week,
What's your
rearrange if there are people that are louder or quieter. Sure.
It's about I have mine. I have since about mid-volume right now.
That's a fancy night.
I think it's. Oh, I think it's actually Kevin's.
Not bad. All right.
Not going to deafen people.
I mean, they shouldn't have gone down.
Yeah.
I mean, when I scream my battle charge.
Tear.
That's my charge attack.
Yes, Wickham, and Tear.
Oh yeah. Do we have a name?
Then for what?
Oh,
Like
for
our
our
group?
Yet? We barely know each other yet.
No, not even like an in-game like Vox Machina, but like Doug named his. They were drunkards and dragons, or dragons and drunkards, something like that.
Well,
All right, whatever. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it.
Today we will be
Let's-
nameless.
Let's circle back on this. Schedule a meeting.
the natty
Let's
one.
sync up on Tuesday. I'll schedule a room. Go-to meeting.
I said natty one.
All right.
The natty one.
Just like go start writing them on the whiteboard.
I like
Cool.
natty ones.
We all think we're good to go.
Call it
Yeah, I
that.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Throwback.
We can call ourselves the Ender Stormlings.
it's a good name. All right. Well, welcome to our first D&D stream. I'm Kevin. This is Stefan, Anson, Jordan, Lenny, and Caleb going around the room from my left to right. We are one session into D&D 5e campaign. It's called Out of the Abyss. It's one of the Wizards of the Coast published campaigns. We're playing through that. We've done one session so far, and we hope you enjoy joining us for our future adventures. Today's stream, by the way, is brought to you by D6s. D6s. The only reason fireballs don't suck. D6s.
That is so cringeworthy. Ah.
You're a cringe.
I disagree.
I mean, it's okay. It was Caleb's
You're
idea.
D6s.
You embrace it, Anson.
You get no D6s now, which is
Well,
rough
I had a
because
short sword.
all you have is a short sword, so it's pretty rough for you, I guess.
Short sword.
Yeah. So to recap our first session, our group here found themselves as prisoners of the Drow. They're in the Underdark in a prison they found out was called Velkenvelv.
Definitely on purpose.
Definitely on purpose. So Stefan's character Wickham, Jordan's character Tyr, and Caleb's character Ander were all part of a traveling caravan that was ambushed, and they were all taken captive. Zatuo, played by Anson, he had a bit of a different path to the Underdark prison, but he got there all the same. And Lenny's paladin, named Nero, also found his way to the Underdark in a more interesting manner. But more importantly, once there, it wasn't long before they were plotting their escape. They found that they were in this prison with many, many other people. There was a dwarf named Eldith Feldrin from Gauntlgrim.
Write these down, people.
They're on the screen. I got them on the screen.
Oh,
Yeah, I put them up there. It's fancy. It's primitive for the first stream, but it'll do. There was a Darrow named Bupido. There was Prince Darendil, who is a Quagoth, but he's convinced that he is a prince from the kingdom of Nelrindenbane in the High Forest, back up in Faerun. Then there was the Zwerfneblin Jimjar. Zwerfneblin, for those of you who don't know, are deep gnomes. They're basically just gnomes with really dark skin. There was Stool, the Myconid Sprout. Literally looks like a mushroom. He's adorable. He's adorable. And he almost died last week.
Not
MVP.
There's Shushar, the Kuatoa. He's a bit of a monk-like character, very even-keeled, calm, and a pacifist at that. There is a drow traveling with them, known as Sarith, who was formerly a guard at the prison of Velkenvelv until he murdered another one of the guards, supposedly. He has no recollection of it. And last but not least, we have Topsy and Turvy, the Zwerfneblin twin siblings. Well, I guess being twins, they're automatically siblings, but you get it. They kind of keep to themselves. They're a little quiet. They're a little odd. And let us not forget those who did not make it out of Velkenvelv. Rest in peace, Ront the Orc, who was...
He's Ash.
He is literally Ash. He was taken out, and nameless caravan human #1, who also did not make it.
I tried.
He tried. Wickham tried. He tried to save him, but it wasn't worth risking the wrath of the mistress of the prison. So yeah, Velkenvelv was just this awful prison. There were 15, 16 people in a small cave. They were assigned awful hard labor jobs to do while they were there, including but not limited to digging on stone with blunt objects, emptying chamber pots, scrubbing the floors, anything you could imagine. It was pretty funny to make them do that. But in doing so, they learned a few things about the people running the prison. The mistress, Ilvara Mizrim, was the woman in charge. She was a drow priestess of Lolth. Lolth is the spider queen worshipped by the vast majority of the drow race. Then there was Jorlin, a scarred drow who was Ilvara's previous lover. He was wounded in action and kind of kicked to the curb. He was promptly replaced by Shor Vandry, another drow elite warrior, but younger and not facially scarred. Ilvara's kind of a bitch. And lastly, there was Asha Vandry from the same family as Shor. She was a junior priestess. And after a few days in captivity, our players were approached by Jorlin, and Jorlin offered them a means to escape, and asked them if they would take it, if it was presented to them. And they said yes. I mean, who wouldn't want to leave a drow prison camp? And in the not too distant future, our poor orc Ront was given up to Ilvara to sate her fury, due to the affront to Lolth that was killing a spider. Simple as that. But go figure, the Spider Queen, they get a little pissed. And so Vara incinerated Ront in front of everyone to make an example of him, because you don't mess with Wolf. And not terribly long after that, probably a half hour or so, there was a strange screeching in the cavern where Velkenveld was located. And demons attacked the outpost. When the demons arrived and began doing combat with the Drow warriors running the prison, Jorlin came back to the cage and just dropped off a pair of keys. And the jailbreak was on. The next probably just 5 minutes tops was just a blur. Binds and manacles were coming off. They opened the gate of the den, and they all just sprinted for the guard tower, which they knew also housed a small armory for the troops at this outpost. And after killing a few of the drow on guard there, and reclaiming a decent amount of their belongings as well as a bit of other adventuring gear, our group threw a rope out the window of this stalactite structure that was 100 feet from the bottom of this cave, and they all descended, mostly successfully. Turvey managed to fall, fell 100 feet and almost died, but was rescued by another one of the NPCs. Nero was the last one out. He was trying to cut off the pursuit, and decided he was going to leave last, and rolled a nice 1 on his athletics check and fell 100 feet into the water also. And fortunately, he had enough HP; he could take it. So they escape the prison, and they make for the western tunnel, which they know from Shushar can lead them to the Kuatoa town of Slubladop. Yes, I'm saying that correctly. Fun fact. So after leaving after leaving Velkenveld, they travel west, and they travel for a whole day and a half before they encounter anything. They come up to this enormous stalactite cavern. There's also stalagmites, but the stalactites are a little more important. And they travel through that for almost an entire day and a half. And towards the end of that second day, there was a tremor and basically a small quake, and a whole bunch of the stalactites in the cavern fell. And with them fell a whole bunch of giant fire beetles, which are not that intimidating until you've been struck by multiple stalactites falling from a high ceiling. That's where we almost lost Stool. Stool went down there. We almost lost Topsy. Topsy also ate 3 stalactites to the face.
Fine.
But thanks to the heroics and the spell casting abilities of our bard and our cleric here, they were able to save them. And that is where we will begin tonight. Guys, you just killed the last of the giant fire beetles and have harvested the food that you could from them. And remember, you're nearing the end of the stalactite cavern. Like you're coming to where the ceiling drops back down. What do?
We need to clear the distance between us and these stalactites, and otherwise have another droppage of that again before we take a rest for the day.
Maybe you just need to be quicker on your toes.
Could not agree more.
So let's get out of this cavern and then rest up for the night.
I would agree. Wickham, I think you and I should take the first watch. We have some things to talk about.
Looking forward to it.
think.
I'll volunteer for the second watch.
Okay, so first watch is going to be.
Oh wait, we just cleared it. Like we're still. There's no rings.
Well, you almost think about stalactites, so.
More
That was
stalactites.
an event.
The stalactites, then the beetles. What do you want? Some to sprout out of the ground and stuff?
Those are called
You didn't know that
stalagmites.
this cavern was the boss of this campaign?
Wait. So we
I stabbed the ground.
we just walked out of this cavern, and now where are we at?
You're not out of the cavern. You're still in the stalactite cavern.
Oh,
We're just.
So
You've healed each other. Everyone's back conscious again, and I was under the impression you were going to basically make camp in this cavern again. But,
Oh,
No.
we're hoping to get out from under.
like to
this.
get-
no,
yeah.
we'll let you get out.
I mean, but like most of the stalactites just fell on you. So
Most stuff.
Okay.
I'm not taking any chances.
But you know what's a lot harder to dodge is a stalactite while you're asleep.
that's a good point. That's fair.
Watch
More
me.
I
walking.
don't disagree.
How far is it? Like, are we able to see the end
So
of the
you
cavern?
you're getting to the point where you could probably make it to where the cavern starts closing in. The stalactites stop probably another hour of sort of hiking through all the stalagmite field that you're in.
Onward.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Fun fact: Nero is British.
Kind of.
Wickham's a little southern, just a little.
Join me in hating Zero Maris.
For reasons unknown.
For reasons unknown.
Reasons
to
unknown.
Do
y'all.
you need more reason?
Than the fact that he's just him.
Then
Who he is.
the fact
Have
that
you met him?
I'm here.
Right.
I have,
Okay, so you guys moving on?
Yeah, we'll be moving down the old tunnel.
Do we need? Well, never mind.
No, we took care of it.
Continue moving.
Okay. Yeah, you guys at your relatively normal pace, probably a little slowed by some of the injuries you incurred during the stalactite and fire beetle encounter. Probably about an hour or so later, you maybe make it the last half mile or so through this cavern. And basically you reach a point where the size of the stalactites and stalagmites shrinks substantially, and you see the ceiling of the cavern lowers, and you sort of see the wall, and in front of you about 3 tunnels that you can see at the edge of this cavern to choose from. But there's enough of a clearing you could reasonably sort of set up a camp amongst the smaller stalagmites in the area.
Well, I would say this is as good a place as any. I'm not really willing to trailblaze one of these new trails.
You sure you don't want to look
At
for
this
somewhere
point.
with less stalactites?
Oh, kind of. You're a wordsmith, you are. Sure, or how do you feel about camping out here?
I think this will probably do.
Well, it's good enough for me.
Agreed.
They know this place better than us.
Yeah, I think we need to rest though.
Yeah.
Rest in
We
peace.
still have a number of injuries in our party.
Agreed.
All right. Let's make camp.
Now we have our first watch.
Right. Right. Yes, you guys set up camp with the little supplies you have, which really just consists of a small handful of bedrolls, and the backpacks on your back is some makeshift, awful, lumpy pillows. And yeah, so who's taking what watch?
Wickham and I will take the first watch.
Okay.
I will join Nito for the second watch.
Yeah.
Passive perception or
We can
roll
just
for this?
let the baby boy take his nap for the night.
I was woken up last night when some people were worried about these fire beetles in the sky.
Can't imagine him.
Go sleep, baby boy.
Next time I won't be waking you,
I go to sleep
and you'll have bed bugs.
Hey, Doug.
as long as they're not giant fire beetles.
That's true. It's important. So yeah, I guess once you sort of set up your camp a little bit, Ander, goes to sleep. Nero goes to sleep. Shushar goes and sits in a meditative pose near the middle cave entrance, sort of like right in front of it. And yeah, I mean the rest of you can all head to sleep if that's all you're gonna do. Don't forget to mark off 28 pounds worth of food for the second day.
That is.
For those at home, it takes about 2 pounds of food to sustain someone, according to the DMG. And so these guys have been scavenging various fungi, and even the giant fire beetles had some edible bits to them. So sort of scavenging whatever they can to not starve.
Have we been feeding Stool? Who doesn't have a mouth?
He just absorbed some water.
Okay. And also, Sarah, I believe, picked up his own food. Picked up some fire beetles. I don't know if you just counted that towards
What? Oh no, you guys collected the fire beetles. You just sort of followed suit after he started picking them
Okay.
up. Yeah, that was accounted for.
I just want to minimize the amount of starving we have to do.
But before you fall asleep, though, Jim Jar comes up to you. He's like,
How are you doing, Jim Jar?
"I'm good, man. I'm good. I saw you had some dice. You were playing before.
Dice?
I have some dice. Roll perception.
Triggered.
Let's play."
I'll play dice.
Sure. Bet you tomorrow's rations. Bet you my rations for tomorrow that I win.
All right. I pull my dice out of my pocket.
Be careful with this one, Jim Jar. He's a snake.
Okay. I don't have a dice game in mind, so we'll just high roll.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and roll yours.
11.
You got me.
All
Again?
right.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing. Oh man, I don't know if we're gonna make a thing out of this. I think I know where we can get some more rations. What do you say? How hungry are you feeling?
Hungrier for luck than anything else. I'm always in for this.
Fine. Then the rations for the day after. Me and you right now.
Oh no. Why? 3.
11.
Oh my.
Hey. Well, on the bright side, now you owe him your rations for tomorrow.
Again? Oh my goodness.
He's tough to beat. I don't know if the luck's just with him. Who knows?
You have 3 days of rest.
This is devastating.
I get to sleep tonight. I get 3 days of rations. This adventuring stuff's easy. I don't know what everyone's complaining about.
But yeah, so the three of you spend some time gambling. Stool comes over. He pops his rapport spores. Kind of wants to play too. He plays you a little bit, but he's not going to bet anything real. He just likes to watch you guys roll the dice. He doesn't have hands, so you got to roll for him. but he just likes the game. He likes that it's a game.
I happen to lose quite a bit more often to Stool than to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 6 and a
That's
5.
uncanny. That's very
4.
uncanny. Oh man, you got me.
How does Stool see? Does Stool have a numbering system?
But yeah, so Shushar is off meditating. The 4 of you are gambling. Eldeth comes over to watch you guys as well. She's fascinated and also wants to make sure that nobody's trying to take advantage of Stool. Topsy and Turvy, they kind of go set up their bedrolls off on their own. They're kind of just chatting with each other. They're a little, I don't know, in general, kind of standoffish towards you guys. Though thankful that now you've saved their lives on multiple occasions just since the prison break.
Tyr, do you have any ideas about those Topsy and Turvy?
Not that I can think of. For some reason, they don't like gambling, which I can't fathom. But
I mean, how old are they? I didn't come into gambling till I was 11 or 12.
that long.
Yeah, I know. I was a late bloomer.
Well, that's somehow you must still be coasting off beginner's luck, but I can't possibly imagine. I can't quite tell.
Jimdor, what about you?
What? Me what?
Topsy and Turvy.
What do I think
They,
of it?
they seem odd, even for Neblin.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They're kind of a weird pair. I don't know. The whole time we were in prison together, they pretty much just kept to themselves. The one thing that is weird, they're just like, if I'm being entirely honest, they're kind of weirdly hairy.
Harry.
Go on.
Well, I mean, look at me. He's got a very, very bald Zwerfniblin head.
I think we all just kind of assumed that's how y'all look.
What, bald or hairy?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Well, you
our
are.
sample
But no.
size was pretty small.
Yeah, good point. But no, they're kind of weirdly hairy. It's not normal in Gnomish society.
Do you think they actually are Sverfneblin, or do you think they're something else?
Oh, they're definitely Zwerfniblin. There's no doubt about that.
Interesting.
Well, talking to them doesn't seem to do any good.
Have we tried?
We tried when we were prisoners, not
That's
since we
true.
escaped.
Maybe they'll warm up to us now that we literally broke their necks.
Once
Seems like
each.
a bad assumption.
It's worth a shot.
So I'll walk over to Topsy and Turvy, and I don't know if you guys want to
I'll come with.
I'll eavesdrop.
We can assume Spool has spooled it up.
Stool.
Yeah, Stool.
It's not spore.
Still stool.
Stool has spored it up.
There you go.
We got there.
Stool MVP.
Honestly.
Team mascot.
Topsy, Turvy, how are you two feeling? You've had quite the rough couple of days.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. We're okay though. We're glad you guys were there to help us.
I'm glad that we were there too. I kind of cast glance to
Yeah.
the party behind me.
Of course, very glad you guys were there. How long?
You were glad we were imprisoned?
Only because we got to meet you.
Turvy kind of whispers into Topsy's ears, like, that one's kind of weird. Turvy's the girl, Topsy's the boy, for those at home.
Where do you two come from?
Originally, Blingdenstone. That's where we're from.
Interesting. Isn't how far is Blingdenstone from what was it? Mesobaron? No.
Valkenveld.
Valkenveld.
From Valkenveld, I mean, it's probably at least 10 days away.
Were you and you guys were just wandering around before you were captured?
How did you come to Valkenveld?
I mean, we got kidnapped. I don't know,
It was out of your
we're
parents' home.
11.
Is that young for Nephilim? Okay.
Very.
Well, I noticed that you guys are setting up camp a bit out from the rest of camp. I just wanted to invite you two to feel free to come and spend time with us, just as a group. I know we don't really have a fire to sit around, but we're happy to have you around.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, We just don't really like other people that much.
Well,
That's
Okay,
because you've met Zero Mars over there, and I would understand.
Who? I thought his name was Nero.
No, it's pronounced Zero.
Oh, come on.
It
They're
is.
kids.
Don't listen to this blithering fool.
We're just gonna keep our beds. We're just gonna sleep over here.
All right, just be safe. All right. We're back.
I think it went well.
Well, we tried.
you guys head back.
I think it went.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the well thing. But it didn't go poorly.
It certainly went.
How exactly do you just bring up to two children that you think they're odd?
You don't.
So once you guys get back to your main little chunk of base camp, which is not that far, but maybe like 40, 50 feet away from where Top Senior put their little bedrolls, Bupito comes up to you because he knows you speak the language, and to Wickham he says, "Hey, so when are we going to check out these tunnels?"
I think we're gonna get some rest and then in the morning head down whichever one Shershar thinks appropriate.
Really? Oh man, you topsiders sure sleep a lot. We could be, I don't know, we could at least like send a few people to try and scout out some of these tunnels, figure out which way to go.
You volunteering?
I'd go.
I don't think it's a terrible idea. But I do think that after the rough and tumble we had a bit earlier, might help just to get our feet under us again, and then we can head out first thing. If you want to head off with, I don't know, Sarith and maybe some of the other people more familiar with the terrain down here, that's on you. But I think us topsiders, yeah, we're a little more used to the sun, and when it goes down, we sleep. It's just what we do.
No wonder they call you sun slaves. All right.
I didn't wonder.
And then Lupito starts talking to Zarif in a language that none of you understand. They weren't.
Just secretly
So he used the spores when you guys started gambling. So he's out for the day because he used them in the morning too.
Gotcha.
I will call over to Bopito and just, hey, and if you two do go out, just make sure you let us know. And don't get yourselves in over your heads now.
Wait, go out.
I'm saying this in a Dwarvish.
Oh.
But I'm going to tell you guys, don't worry.
Yeah, we're going. He's coming. Zarif kind of nods. He's pretty sure that he knows what Upito just said to you.
Oh, okay.
That they're going to go scout out one of the tunnels.
As they start leaving,
Where are they going?
yeah, they want to go up ahead and scout out a little bit, make sure we're not running into any trouble.
Isn't that one of our only guides?
Well, we still got Shershar, who's leading us to what was it now, Slubladoo?
Slubladop.
Slubladop. Beep bop. I don't know. I told him that we were going to look in the morning. They seemed a little antsy, so I'll let him go. If we want to stop him, we can, but I know the rest of us need our rest.
There is. We might want to be a bit cautious about Sarith, seeing as how he potentially murdered someone that he didn't want to murder and doesn't remember it, which might just mean that he was set up, or might mean that he blacks out and murders people.
I'm inclined to agree that we should be careful of that one. He was working for our captors prior to becoming one.
Sure, but he was very useful getting out.
Well, then he killed one.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Well, we can call him back real quick if we want, or we can send more with him. But if Sareth comes back and Upido is with them, then yeah, maybe there's something suspect.
Do we know how long they'll be gone for?
I didn't say.
We have no way of contacting them once they've gone.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm not in charge around here.
I suppose they have their own free will. Let's just hope it doesn't come back to bite us.
Fair.
Just our luck, they'll go up there, get captured, and warn everybody else that we're coming.
I can take their rations.
I had the idea. I get half.
Fair.
Let's at least mark make sure to mark the tunnels that they're checking down in
Yeah,
case
which
they
one-
don't
which
come
one-
back from one.
Which one did they go down?
They're going to go down the left one.
Okay. Yeah, so...
And Shushar is sitting in front of the center tunnel.
Alright, so head to the left one. Whoever's keeping watch, keep track. If they come back and they go down a different tunnel, make sure we know in the morning.
Okay.
Does that mean we're hitting the sack now, or
I see no reason for us to remain awake.
feel like we've been lying down for a while?
Good to go.
Alright. So you two are on watch?
Yep.
Anson, you just go to bed? Alright. Yeah, so you see Bupido and Sarith kind of disappear off into the far left tunnel. There's plenty of room. The tunnel's like, probably like 8 feet wide, 8 to 10 feet or so. Tall enough for even the Quagoth to walk through just fine. And yeah, they just disappear off like the tunnel horizon, I guess. So it's to you.
Mhm.
You guys do anything on your watch?
Wickham. Well, we have a moment.
Well,
here.
okay, actually,
Okay,
first,
sorry. Yep.
just roll a perception check, both of you.
First,
This is dangerous.
First roll
18
of the
plus
stream.
something.
12.
This is day 3.
12.
Day 3 night.
21.
Which is worse than I pass it.
21.
I think
Okay.
it's day 3 night. This is day 3, right?
So this is the
night.
second
Rest.
night
Oh.
that you've been out.
That we've been walking.
But this is the third.
Sorry.
This is the third night actually we're walking, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I lied. This is the third night. You escaped, you slept. You had day 1 of travel, which where you just like foraged for a bunch of stuff. Then you slept again, and then it was you traveled through the rest of the stalactite cavern. So this is the third time you guys have sort of slept.
Okay, and we also slept at the prison the first night. So this is day 4. Night.
Oh, total, yeah.
This is night of day 4.
Yeah, day 4 since Velkenvelv. Wait, okay, so you said you got 12 and a 21? Okay. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, sorry.
So Wickham, can I see the mark? You have some record of the mark you showed me earlier, right?
It's not really a record, it's more of a brand on my skin.
That's true. Can I make a religion check to see if I remember anything else about it?
Sure, yeah, you can try.
14.
14? No, nothing that you couldn't readily identify before. It's a mark that is infernal in nature. That's really the most you can glean out of it.
Gotcha.
You're guessing it's probably a symbol for something, but what or whose symbol it is, you don't really know.
Yeah. So Wickham, I may not have been entirely truthful earlier. I told you there was nothing to worry about.
But I wanted to believe you.
I wanted to be right. It's not the friendliest of marks. Some would even say it's evil. Do you remember anything else about what happened when you gained these marks or abilities?
Like I said, I was running from the caravan. Got stabbed out of nowhere, right in the side down here, and was bleeding out, going unconscious, and a voice offered to help me, to keep me from dying. And well, didn't have a lot of options. I said yes, and this piece of paper appeared out of nowhere. This is like a
Paper.
yeah. It said that if I was to agree, that he'd save my life. I honestly seemed like sort of a contract deal, but I didn't really get a chance to read it. I could barely see my own hands from my eyes. I was kind of blacking out. I reached my hand, covered in my own blood, and put my hand on it. And that seemed to do the trick. My wound got stitched back up, and then this happened, and my back. And the last thing I remember is sort of screaming in pain until I passed out. I woke up down here. That's the long of it.
It is. We need to make sure we watch this. If you can control it, then it will be of use, but we can't let it control you. I'll do what I can to help you. I will.
I appreciate it. If I start straying, let me know.
I will.
I feel like myself, but that might just be normal now.
Did you feel any pull towards something other than yourself while you were in combat, using the abilities?
I felt sort of an inner power, if you will. Like I could pull out, and use it. But while it was a part of me, it didn't feel like it was trying to hurt me. That's right now. That's all I really got. It only seems sort of. I can only really feel it when things get hairy.
When your life is on the line.
Yeah.
Well, if you can remember anything else from this arrangement, anything from before you passed, please tell me. The more I know, the more I can help. I've studied texts, history, and if there's anything that can be of value to helping you maintain control, let me know.
I'll do that. This ain't exactly my kind of territory.
Absolutely. And unfortunately it is now, but we'll do our best to keep you on this side.
Yeah. It is now. This is gonna get interesting.
All right. Anything else you guys do on your part of the watch?
Worry.
Fair enough. Make a worry check. Yeah.
Maximum worry.
But yeah, no. The your guys' shift of watch passes uneventfully. A few random cave noises, but I mean everything reverberates through the cavern, and yeah, nothing doing. So you guys go wake up.
Do we see
Nero and Zatuo?
We don't see Lupito come back or anything? With,
Nope, not during your shift.
Okay.
So I gotta sleep.
When I tried off,
Very well.
I'll let you guys know that I didn't see Lupito yet. Come back with Zareth.
That's a body.
We'll keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, either that tunnel's deep or something happened. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I'm gonna crash.
Nero, you'll be my eyes and I'll be your ears.
Sounds good.
And I forgot to mention this before, but when you went to sleep, Ander, Stool, who was still telepathically linked with you, came up and like you laid down and he sort of like came up beside you, kind of like how like a cat or a dog would, and just sort of like curled up into your side, and he's just like, I really want to go home. Aww. I miss Neverlake Grove.
Stool, we're gonna get you back.
Really?
If you were able to take that many stalactites and we were able to pull you out of it,
But I think I was dying. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys saved
I think
me.
you're over exaggerating. You'll be fine.
Okay. He goes to sleep right next to you. Okay, and Zatuo and Nero, please roll perception checks for me.
22.
22.
12.
12.
Look at you guys.
Off to a good start.
So it was quiet for the first hour or so. And about an hour in, though,
Nothing happened.
Nero, you start hearing. It's a weird sound, but it's kind of like a kind of tapping, and it doesn't take long. So you both hear it eventually. It's very obviously it's getting louder, and after a little bit, you realize it's the sound of running footsteps.
Zatu, you hear that?
Yes, I stand alert.
I think we should consider waking up some of our companions.
I get near Wickham, and I ready in action to kick him. Kick him awake.
I come over to Tyr.
The footsteps keep getting louder.
And I walk
Getting
over
closer.
to Ander and stomp on his leg a little bit.
All right, fine. I kick him awake.
Me?
Yeah, I kick you awake.
What in damnation?
What in tarnation?
Who let Zero wake me up? What do you want? You can't even handle. You can't handle one of your shifts, can you?
With my perception check, can I tell which direction?
So it's tough. It takes a little bit for you to sort of get a beat on it, but it's coming from the left tunnel. It takes you a little while, but you roll pretty well.
I point in the darkness to the direction of the sound, which I assume is the left one.
Mm-hmm.
There. You hear?
I mean, it's the running footsteps are in pretty stark contrast to like the otherwise silent cavern that you're in, aside from your own speech.
Which tunnel is it coming from?
It's dark. I cannot see.
Well, we heard it was.
Oh, that's fair. You can't see it all. Nope. You cannot see it.
I'll get
coming from the back.
everybody else.
But yeah, eventually, coming out the tunnel, you see Bupito just running towards you guys out of the tunnel.
What is it?
What
Lupita.
happened?
He's dead. He's dead. It killed him.
What?
In Dwarven.
I think Sarah's dead. What killed him?
What's this huge monster?
Can you speak common?
No, he can't.
He looks at you like you're crazy.
Is it coming? Is it chasing you?
I don't know if it's following me, but like we try to fight it, but then it
I said don't get over your head.
I knew we should.
I would love to know what's going on.
Doesn't know what's happening.
He's pretty beat to shit again. Like he ate a stalactite, and now he looks even worse than when he was.
They found something big. They tried to fight him. They tried fighting it. It got Sereth, and they ran.
Well, is it big enough that it can't fit through the tunnel?
Is it following him?
He doesn't know. And how big is it exactly?
I don't know about his size. Points to Darendil, the Quagoff.
I just like looking at the point there and about that.
One.
Did it look like Darendale?
No, it was something different. I think they call him hook horse or something like that.
Well, I sure as hell don't know.
That doesn't.
Hook horse?
That doesn't sound good.
Yikes.
Yeah, you roll a what would it be? Probably a nature check.
Sounds like my Aunt Remy.
Sounds good.
Yikes.
And you, Mr. Teller of Tales, you can roll a history check. See if you've heard of a hook horror. 12? Nah, that doesn't sound familiar.
No.
Would you roll?
5.
Oh, following up last week's great rolls with this week's great rolls, huh?
No.
All right.
But it's not a one.
That's true. It's not a 1. But yeah, no, you guys don't. That doesn't really ring any bells. But Bupito's kind of here.
How's that?
No, there's no more. There's no more sound coming from that tunnel.
Who all was still injured at the end of the day?
Nobody.
I mean, a lot of the NPCs, and each of you had taken some amount of damage.
I was a little injured.
Didn't we heal them?
I don't think.
I mean, you heal people to bring people back from dying,
Oh, I see.
but I don't think you were full health.
I'm full because I got the whole long rest. Maybe that's trance and whatnot.
Well, shink. Draw out my short sword and kind of head towards the
We should
left.
wake up the others, especially those that are injured, and try to get them. Is there any place to hide around?
Do we really want to stop them from resting until we know that the danger is imminent?
I'd rather get them out of harm's way in case this thing's about to run in on us.
But are they? They're very injured
So,
right now.
there's a thing you can do that
Well,
during a long
just
rest.
waking
it's-
them up doesn't
Just
stop
waking,
them.
just waking up doesn't like ruin a long rest. It's basically if you do any any really strenuous like physical activity, or if you get into combat. But like if you guys woke up and moved your camp like a 10-15 minute walk away from where it is now, or into the tunnels or back into the stalagmites or something, that it wouldn't necessarily mess that up.
Okay.
I'm not going to be oh, well, you guys moved, so now you got to sleep for another 12 hours.
The wall or something like
Right, right. You can't do anything kind of crazy like that.
Well, if it's the only the size of Darrendale, I see no reason why we wouldn't be able to handle it ourselves.
I would think so. All of us together?
I'm inclined to agree with Nero.
Do we really want to just throw Cerise under the bus? Is he surely dead?
He was pretty dead when I left.
I know.
Sorry.
Wow, this translate got really easy.
Just residual spores.
I hug towards the left tunnel and just throw down perception checks.
Okay, roll it.
Just to see if I hear anything. I'll reroll that.
Yeah, that's only the one page change.
10.
10. You don't hear anything coming from that tunnel. No sound.
Because I can't see, last session I rubbed the pebble with fire beetle blood,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'll use section as beacon light. So I'm just trying to
Okay.
move it down that way.
Yep.
See what I can see.
Just keep in mind that because you're in the Underdark and it's really fucking dark, that's just a hey, here I am kind of
It's like a
thing.
glow stick.
But,
Basically, yeah.
But I mean, also it's fire beetle blood, so it's
True.
usually
It's not
just like a fire
completely
beetle.
out of place. You're right.
So
You're
I'm
right.
just flashing it, and I'll just hold weight.
So I mean, the tunnel goes straight forward and then off to the left, and you're not. I mean, a little ways away.
Okay, so-
you don't see anything. You don't hear anything coming from the tunnel.
I put some, I don't know last time, I put some a little bit on the trail into my coat.
Yeah.
So that, you know,
Fire beetle blood.
I
Yeah,
think
just so if I was in front, people could follow my coat.
last session we
Ah.
marked each other a little bit.
Yeah, we
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no, you don't see any sign of what if Sarith had any marking on him. You don't see it.
Well, should we go down and check on Sarith?
So have we all gotten a full rest at this point?
No.
No, we haven't.
We only got a half rest.
Pepito, how far down there is Cerise? How long did you have to run back?
I mean, how long have I been gone?
Like,
Like 5-6 hours, probably.
At least 5 hours.
Well, probably half of that.
Yeah, it'd be like 2.5 hours before we got down there. If he's dead, he's dead.
I mean,
Well,
if
if
I
he
was
was
agree with you in that.
probably dead 2.5 hours ago, then he's
Probably dead.
probably going to be more dead 2.5 hours from now.
At this point, he's either dead or he's unconscious, and well, I guess we might be able to get there and stop him from dying. But
is there any?
I could go.
I'm
might
inclined to say that
I'm still a little injured, but I can make it work.
We should not go. If it
We
comes here,
might-
we would defend, but we should not.
We are kind of also the
But
if we leave all these people behind, and something comes for them, or we're gone, could be bad that way too.
Well, we can't leave them undefended.
I'll not leave the children.
Then we either make everybody come with little to no sleep, or we wait until we're all rested.
I think with the party that we need to defend, we can't strain them more than we have.
Why is this even a question? We just stand here on the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah. All right.
I'm inclined to agree with Zatu, but I think we should go and check once we've rested and recovered.
No.
We're gonna lose the only information we have about these drow.
I suppose.
I think we've already lost the information that we already
But you
have.
don't know that.
Yeah, Darren chimes in. It's like, if he's already dead, what's the point?
Hey,
Shushar, which direction?
so I was gonna ask.
Is it down to left path?
Yeah, I mean, it's where he came from.
No. Shoshar's fishbowl.
Oh, sorry. Thought you were talking to Bupito still.
I can't talk to you.
I don't think that. Can you talk?
He had talked to Shujar.
Right, yeah, you're right.
They like
Wait, so
to each other.
you're asking him what?
Shushar, which way is your home? Down center then, or left leg?
I think it's down the middle tunnel.
Okay.
Why the hell they scout down the wrong tunnel?
Well, I could be wrong. It's not every day you travel. You traverse the tunnels of the Underdark.
Fantastic.
Everyone, go back to rest.
Not
That's just
particularly
take it easy.
instilling confidence in me.
Well, I sure as hell got no any idea.
Well, my friend, you certainly don't know which way to go.
I can
They are
see-
supposed cleaner down here.
But if you'd care to try, you're my guest.
I concede this point to you.
Sidney Red standing by. That's what your voice reminds me of.
Who's that?
Family Guy, Blue Harvest.
Oh.
Yep.
What did you say the monster was called?
A hook horror.
Hook horror.
Such as like literally hook horror.
Literally called hook horror.
All right, I'm going back to
rest.
my sack.
Zotua and I will continue our watch.
Laugh at my terminology.
No, I'm sorry. Out of game, I'm thinking. I'm just like, Sirith got killed. And we're just like, we're going back to bed.
I mean, they knew the risks.
Yeah.
We've
We've also seen someone get
I
incinerated.
literally
in
told
front
them
of
not
us.
to go over their heads, and what did they do? They got over
And
their
half
heads.
of your caravan got killed in front of you. Too.
Yeah, right.
I think you're pretty used to this kind of thing.
Yeah, but then I apparently just forgot most of them, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, Cerise went down the tunnel, and you're probably like, who?
He was the
The drow.
the drow one. The who?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a lot of people, guys.
All right. So yeah, back to
So we
back
go
to sleep.
back to
Back
sleep.
to watch the two of you. Give me another round of perception checks, just for the last part.
That's
9.
So 11.
19.
Carrying
At
the
least
watch.
someone's paying attention.
Carrying the watch.
Right. Each of you, it was like a 12 and a 21, then a 12 and a 22, then an 11 and a 19. So you're kind of working well
Bounce
together
around
at least.
at 15-ish.
Yeah.
The
It's
last
not.
time
It's
we
not
watched
bad.
Together, and I hit high.
So yeah, the rest of your night passes without incident. It's quiet. It's completely quiet. No more footsteps. No other strange noises that you can tell outside of Prince Darendil snoring a bit. He has a giant Quagoff. But yeah, you get as good, most of you get as good of a sleep as you can get, in the Underdark on the ground in a sleeping bag with your bag full of junk for a pillow.
Knowing that someone's been murdered by a hook horror.
Knowing
Well,
that another one of your
thinking that
party
someone's
members
been-
has been killed.
Assuming that he's that line.
That's true.
Probably should have sent him over to that guy.
But yeah, so but mostly a sound sleep from then on. Wickham, you awake naturally a little bit before most of the rest of the group, aside from those who are still on watch. But it's from a really, really strange dream. It starts off, you have this sensation that it's total darkness. You're in total darkness, but you know you're there. Like you feel like you're immersed in it, and you're just kind of floating in this void, in this nothingness. And for a dream, it seems like it goes on like that for like a weirdly long time. And after a while, though, you look around, you see yourself, you see your body just in this void, but without the markings on your hand. But as soon as you realize that the marking's not there, instantly you get the dream version of the same sensation as when it was seared onto your skin. But that's not even what wakes you up. It's not anywhere near the real pain that you felt when it first appeared. But when it finally stops, and you just sit there in the void, clutching your hand that is now just horrifically scarred, albeit with a pretty cool symbol. You find you're not really in control of your body past this point. Like it's not you making these movements, and you put your hand out, palm up, and you just hold it there, and you're focused. Your vision is laser focused on your hand, and out of the void, you start to see these like wisps of looks like ethereal kind of smoke, and after a few moments, a seemingly familiar, albeit never before seen, book appears in the palm of your hand. It's leather bound and bearing the exact mark from your hand on its cover. And you go to open it, and as soon as your other hand touches the cover, you awake in a startle, only to find yourself with that very same book on your person.
Just on my chest.
It's just you wake up and like it falls off your lap, off of your torso, and just like to the ground next to you.
I just hold the book and just look.
Right, and like, Zatua would hear you startle awake, but he can't see anything. And Lenny wasn't quite paying as good of attention, and is probably not as worried about the people sleeping behind him as he is whatever the hell could be down that left tunnel.
Right.
So no one really notices, and it's not that loud. It's just it startled you because you were the one having the dream.
Right. No one says anything. I just open the book.
When you open the book, the first page is a piece of parchment, pretty familiar to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bearing a handprint that is also very familiar to you. This is the contract that you signed.
I want to read it over, though I have it, so now I know what it is in character.
Right. And assuming you flip past the first page.
Well, I want to say there's more to the contract, so I keep flipping.
So now the contract, we didn't go too crazy. The contract's only one page long, but the remainder of the book, the page after that at the top says Book of Shadows. And as you skim through it, you sort of realize that this is bit of a spell book, a bit of a grimoire, and almost a little bit of an instruction manual for your strange new abilities. I know the handprint's not right. It would have covered like all of the important words if I made it the appropriate size.
I just sound like this.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. You see, you're like, I'm going to make a puppy dog fist. Yeah. But yeah, so that is your Book of Shadows.
So I'm going to read it over several times.
Right. And so the text on later pages after the Book of Shadows title goes for, like, you can understand and comprehend up until a certain point, that point being levels beyond where we're at.
Sure.
And so the text becomes sort of blurred and almost alien, and you just can't.
So I can basically
it.
read up to this, like what I basically
What you can do,
cast right
yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah. And that goes for the bonus, like spell list spells, that kind of stuff too.
Sure. Okay.
All right. And as a part of this Book of Shadows, you know that you have this. You basically can summon and dismiss this book as an action.
All right.
Very much like the Find Familiar spell. Once you sort of have the familiar, you can spend an action to sort of dismiss it into its own little pocket dimension or the astral plane. I forget which one. And basically, it just chills there safely until you summon it back.
Okay. It's a standard action, right?
Yes.
In case it becomes relevant, like I used to.
Right. I was gonna say I don't
Middle of combat, like I'm going to talk about this book. Woo!
Do we wake up while he reads it?
You probably would wake up from me starting to wake.
No, I mean, it didn't really make that much noise. Like, more noise than none, so compared to the rest of the Underdark, it's loud, but you wouldn't. It's not loud enough to, like, startle all of you out of your sleep. But yeah, so you spend some time looking that over, and eventually the rest of you start to wake up. You've had most of a night's sleep.
I don't sleep the rest of the night. I just lay with my eyes open.
You got most of it though. You're good. Everyone still gets the long rest, except Pepito, because obviously he was out the majority of the night.
Great idea.
Yeah. But yeah, so you all wake up.
So I'm a little worried about Wickham because he seems a little freaked out by this book that I don't remember him having, but I'm not entirely sure that he didn't have it. So I just kind of leave that alone. Does everyone else look like they're doing okay after that rest? Does anyone need additional healing?
I mean, Pepito, but everybody else seems pretty okay.
All right. And then mechanically, are we able to just like heal as an action, or do we need to use spells for it?
So you'd have to use. So you have potions of healing, which is one way to heal. I think you have like 3 of those left amongst all of you.
2.
I'm only on the one still.
Well, no. So there was 5. I know you only used 2 last session.
So I have one.
I have one.
Who else has one?
I had one, but we used it for someone.
A health potion?
Yeah.
I should not have one.
I think, as I said, I think Tyr has the 3rd one. And you use the other 2. So potions of healing are one way to heal. Your spells, yours and Lenny has like the lay on hands ability as paladin. Your cleric obviously also has some healing abilities.
Are we talking about natural healing from our rest?
But yeah, so when you do a long rest, your HP goes back to max.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're all at full health aside from Pepito. Man, you got some like really don't give a shit about other people, cleric and paladin in this group. Just watch it. That's all I'm saying. Just watch it.
Not his people.
Right.
Hey, remember, I tried to go down and save the drow.
That's fair.
Yeah, save the dead drow.
Well,
The religious rites are very important.
well, I couldn't speak.
We all know that a drow would want to be
And then-
buried under Salune.
The other natural way to heal would be taking a short rest. You can spend hit dice.
Mm-hmm.
This work.
How do those work?
Mm-hmm.
So you have as many hit dice to spend in a period of a long rest as you have hit die total. So level 2, you've all got 2 of whatever your hit die is. If you take a short rest and you want to use some of those hit die, you roll them, and you can just get that much
When do we
HP
get
back.
those back?
Long rests.
Sweet. How does?
So you're it says it a D8, right?
Yeah.
So you have 2 D8s that you can use to heal yourself at every short rest.
Not at every.
No, this-
Per long
Well,
rest.
per long rest.
Every time you take a short rest, you have the opportunity to use some number of hit die, which represents like your natural healing.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so
regenerate after
essentially,
rolls.
like for one short rest, I could roll one of my d8s to recoup.
You can
some-
roll all of them if you
Right.
wanted to, or in any increment
Gotcha.
aside from that.
Okay.
And you can use them like sequentially. You don't have to be like, oh, I want to use I want to use all 3, and then you heal too much, or I want to use 1, and then you only like roll a 1. So you can just like, I want to roll a few of
Gotcha.
them. And, yeah.
Okay. Because I also have this Song of Rest thing that
Song
that
Rest,
I can like
that
add.
ability.
I can add it. I can like add extra dice to their short rest healings.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, that's actually a really good ability to have in the Underdark. Is that a bardic?
Yeah, I
Have
use
ability
one of
to-
my inspiration.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Good to know. So, what's the plan? You're all up and at 'em. Stool's awake, standing beside Eldith and Darendil. Jimjar's there. Pupito still looks kind of beat to hell, but he's up and ready to go. And Topsy and Turvy reluctantly rejoin. Thank you. Bye, Sarith. You go.
While it lasted.
And yeah, Trishar, who literally spent the entirety of the long rest in his meditative stance, in his meditative trance as well, also finally stands up.
I looked at him.
Well, I suppose, as we discussed last night, the only way to go is forward. Well, through the center tunnel. Unless one of you has a better idea.
I remember most of us thought that going through the center tunnel was the right idea.
Anybody?
Trishar chimes in. He's like, it has been a while since I've made this journey. I could be wrong.
Last night your bravado seemed to be quite confident.
No,
About the
let's
center.
let's not make the only person who knows where we're going upset.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Run off on his own?
Yes.
And
Yes, because we haven't had any problem with people from our party running down tunnels on their own and never coming back.
and that went so well for Sarith.
Also, like, Trishar has been like nothing but calm this entire time. Like, very like even tone, even keeled with you. He's like mentioning his bravado of being like, I think it's the middle tunnel.
Did you
Hey, he was
remember?
giving me sass last night.
Do you know anything about the beings in these tunnels? What we might come across, or what may have doomed our kind of friend?
Our companion.
Well, you all mentioned that he said hook horror. Those are not uncommon in the Underdark.
Great.
What is a hook horror?
Very dangerous. It's a large beast with hooks for hands. I don't know what.
Okay. All right.
Nothing we can't handle by the sound of it. It's no larger than Durandal, after all.
But he's got hooks for hands.
Then we'll have to cut them off.
I like the way you think. All right,
Let's not waste any more time.
let's head down the center tunnel.
Let's do it.
Unless anyone has a better idea, but I don't think they do. Eldith, do you have a better idea?
Me? I don't know which way we're going. any direction I chose would just be as good as a guess.
Center tunnel it is. Unless Topsy and Turby.
Jimjar, how about you?
Yep.
So I think everyone else has either gotten attacked in a tunnel or as a child.
Jimjar chimes in and say, "Yeah, I mean, I can take you to Blingdenstone, but I've never been to Sloopentop."
Which way is Blingdenstone?
Mostly the same direction.
So still the middle tunnel.
I mean, there's a lot of tunnels in the Underdark, man.
Well, this one.
We could. I mean, there's a very real chance we could follow all three and
They just
eventually find our way there. It's just a matter of time, and who
This is
knows?
not inspiring a lot of confidence from the locals. However, this
How
is all
about
we've got.
let's split up. We'll all go through the center tunnel,
Yeah.
and then Zero will go down the left tunnel. All in favor?
No one raises their hand. And
I see why you took a bard, not jester.
I'm confused. So, in the Underdark, you do not map your own tunnels or have markings to say what city you go to. Like in the upper world, we have signposts in the direction and have roads.
Shushar again. It's just like the Underdark is an unfathomably large expanse. It's to know.
No larger than the top.
Not true. They have 3 dimensions.
That's true.
But how many layers are there to your top side?
There are mountains as well.
7.
Okay.
Being dipped.
What?
That wasn't it. Sorry.
7 layer being dead. Come on, Kevin. Okay.
But no.
All right, let's go.
I do not have a map, nor is the majority of the Underdark marked as such.
Okay. I was just asking for my own understanding. No less, no more.
Perhaps you could find a map once we reach Sloopentop.
Okay. Then let's proceed.
All right, so heading down the middle tunnel.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're doing fast travel, so.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Fast travel. Okay.
And you said we can still ride a forest
Wait.
while we fast travel?
Wait,
We just get-
whoa.
Time out.
Whoa.
Fast
How
travel.
do you have worse perception when you're fast traveling?
Fast travel.
We're fast traveling.
Then we travel
Our
last
whole idea was that we need to put
Normal.
more distance behind us.
Yeah, I can fast travel now.
But we still get to do we still get to try to forage,
Yeah.
right?
So going fast. No foraging if you're moving fast.
Okay.
-5 to your perception checks if you're moving fast, as well as no foraging. Normal speed, there's nothing. You can still forage, but no bonus. And if you go slow, you can try and stealth, like do a group stealth check,
We have
and you get bonus to your foraging attempts.
we have to get farther away
We're-
from this
I
place.
think we can fast travel.
At least for one day.
My only reservation be the fact that one of our companions going down one of these tunnels met an unfortunate fate as it stands.
It's nothing I haven't killed. It's nothing like anything I haven't killed before.
It's
Big
very well.
monster.
You were the one that was so confident that the whole party of us would have no problems with the hook horror.
Going into a battle is one thing, getting ambushed is another.
It is more exciting.
I like the way this guy thinks.
Alright, fast travel.
Okay. Can you give me a marching order with your minis? Just like it doesn't matter where, just on
I'll run it down.
in a row.
I can
go
be in
front,
front.
buddy.
Me and Fish Boy are in the front.
Fishy. That makes sense.
I'll be in the middle, as usual.
I can be in the back.
I'll be near the back as well.
Remember who's who anymore?
So
I'm the guy with the hammer.
this is you. Yeah.
Or the pickaxe, right?
Wickham, is this you?
Yeah. Let's see.
I kind of look like a
Where's the
wizard.
2-0 going?
I'm in the middle.
Can't wait till my mini
I
gets
have
here
lots of
digging.
ability.
Just
He's
like,
hiding within the middle of the jungle.
Let's protect children.
Oh, is he still riding on?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Around.
So it's like
They're together. Perfect.
you like. Because Topsy and Taylor
Darren.
gotta go together.
Yeah.
You know. You do something like this if that's functional.
The classic Y-wing formation.
Yeah.
wait, why is somebody laying down?
It's Darendil with stool
Oh,
on
his
his
stool
back.
on his back? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, stool is
Obviously.
very, very slow. Stool's movement speed on his own is 10 feet.
Stool is literally a mushroom.
He's a mushroom with legs and I guess some eyes. He somehow can absorb some water. Not really sure how he eats, but I think he does. Okay.
Photosynthesis doesn't work
So you
well
you
in
travel
that
down the central tunnel, and it's pretty mundane for most of your day. You're there's the occasional very small cluster of illuminated fungi, but nothing substantial, nothing that you could be like, I'm going to harvest this and eat. You make it.
Can I actually gather some of that illumination fungi as we're traveling?
Sure.
Too fast.
Oh God,
Literally
there it goes.
sprinting.
Right. I meant to grab that.
Sidewalk here, Ansel.
Yep.
Zipping.
How long does Divine Sense last? It says as an action you can open your awareness to detect such forces in terms of evil.
How many pounds of that can I gather?
What else does it say?
Probably I'm guessing an insubstantial amount.
Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within
Well, there
60
you
feet of you.
go. Your turn around is 6 seconds,
Wow.
so you can turn it on as an action, and it lasts for.
Blast
Around.
it out as we're moving.
So it's
Alright,
like a quick
no.
check.
Yeah, it does not happen.
Yeah.
Anson had asked how much of that fungus he was able to gather.
You could cover another few like pebbles, rocks with it. It's probably like, we'll say you got like 3 more light covered rocks, but it's not like. It's like 15 feet of dim light in the Underdark. It's not super bright. But these are green, whereas the other one's red.
That's even better.
Eventually, we have a raid.
Well, we put something in yellow. We can make a stoplight.
Hey.
Got him.
Fine.
Traffic in the dark.
All right.
We just leave the red one up, and our enemies can't get to us.
Genius. Unless they're in a fire truck.
But red means go in the Underdark.
Oh no!
Well, in that case, green.
So yeah, you're traveling for 6-7 hours through this one tunnel. There's no like the most, I guess, interesting piece of this tunnel is the fact there's an occasional sort of divot where the wall's a little wider, but it's solid. It doesn't split the tunnel, but you do get the feeling that you're kind of going down. This tunnel is taking you to a lower elevation.
Do we want to go to a lower elevation?
I don't have a choice at this point.
And so you keep walking, and eventually the tunnel opens up, and you're in a new cavern. Basically, as soon as the tunnel ends, right, the walls go off to the side and sort of curve out, and in front of you, you can see it's probably about 30 feet or so away from this cave. You see a rope bridge, and this rope bridge stretches over an enormous chasm. You can't see the bottom of it, even those of you with dark vision. And can I get perception checks from everyone? At a minus. No, actually, not. Never mind. That's just the passive one.
29.
Oh wait, passive?
No. Just tell me what you got.
21.
Not 20.
Yeah, man. That's not very well.
And we perceive everything.
And I even see the dust fall.
Okay, so everybody who got an 11 or higher, you notice a symbol carved right near the exit of the tunnel that you were just in. So if you were looking, if you turn around
So,
and
like,
look
the
back
entrance-
in the tunnel,
Oh.
it's like just off to the left side on the wall. And I will draw this little symbol real quick. It's nothing crazy.
Can we?
Zatuo, do you have any more of those small glowing stones?
We're on the same page.
We've all played Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I have 3.
Can I have one?
Will you give it back?
Yes.
Are you going to?
No.
Roll insight.
Give you 1. Of the illumination fungi stripped off. Can we rub it through those stones? Or
Oh, you don't have the same idea as me.
No, I
I
can't
know
see
the-
anything.
You go through the hole.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that. Yeah.
Satu, I know that that's your form of light right now. However, it may be valuable for us to throw one of these stones down into the
So this is a really rough sketch of it. This is what the symbol looks like. And once a few of you notice it, the rest of you obviously will be like, oh, hey, look, there's this thing on the wall.
Oh, hey, look, there's this thing on the wall.
This is what it looks like.
Where?
Little symbol. On the just outside the tunnel.
Oh!
What
I
did
do
you?
see
It is.
I rolled a
It's a-
4.
It is very dark.
Yeah.
You didn't have light. There.
Yeah. I can't. I'm basically blind.
So, Zatu, what's your opinion on taking that course of action?
the darkness walls.
Can I take a roll on recognizing that symbol?
Absolutely. That would be probably a history check.
I would
Can I
take
make
your thought.
Yeah, you can make a religion check.
Okay.
8.
Same.
You're not sure what it is.
19.
What I get there?
You got a 17.
I got 19 on the religion check.
On a religion check? 20? You're both.
Oh no, plus 2, 21.
You're both very confident that this is not a religious symbol.
Get wrecked.
Good job on those rolls, though, guys. Yep.
We know now.
We are positive.
Knowledge is half the
By the
battle.
way, Gantz and I had a conversation. We're chucking the rock down into the chasm.
Okay.
I passed him one of my.
One of the green glowing rocks.
I only have 1 left now. I'm very sad about it.
Representation.
Yeah, that's better than mine. And I have an actual picture in front of me. Okay, sorry. Give me. No, you're good. Yeah. So no, none of you recognize the symbol.
Dang it.
Yeah.
We were close.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
Group. Does anyone know what this symbol is? I point. And look up to the collective.
I've never seen it before.
Nor have I.
It is not familiar to me.
What says?
Topsy and Turvy, they don't recognize it. Ginger's like, it might be some kind of drow symbol. I don't know.
God damn it.
And
feel like
Darendil's like, I
Topsy and Turvy
do
are
not
lying.
recognize the marking.
Dang it, Sarah, where are you?
You think?
Alright, I think that one. This is not important. Alright.
Cross.
Did you guys throw the stone down?
Well, we were gonna.
Do it.
Into the darkness.
Do the rock.
I think that wasn't an actual roll.
No, that was.
Throw one of the lit rocks down.
Yeah.
Okay. It falls. And falls. And falls. And gets just incredibly dim until you can't make it out anymore.
I told you.
Can we hear anything around?
Eventually, yeah, it'd probably. Oh man, I'm trying to think how long it would take a rock to fall this far. It's way more. It takes way more seconds for you to hear the rock make contact with the bottom of this huge chasm than you know that you could survive. We'll go with that.
Fair.
You cannot see the bottom. It's well over 100 feet. Like it's on the order of like hundreds of feet.
Gotcha.
That you can't even see the the faintest glow of this rock when it finally
Can I do a
hits the bottom.
Can we do a perception check on the check out the bridge a little more?
The bridge, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, well, do we know anything about what's it made out of?
It looks somewhat similar to the bridges from Velkenvelf.
No.
Well, it is different
Not
though.
one idea.
The rope is like a spider silk rope,
Yeah.
and this one actually has Zerkwood planks instead of just. It's not like the rope. The whole bridge just consists of like the rope being really taut. It's like an actual. It's got.
Does it
planks
seem
on
pretty sturdy?
Seems to be reasonably well made. Yeah.
The spider silk is super strong. You couldn't even cut through that.
It took a couple tries. He was halfway done, and then he decided he needed to get out of this
Totally
spire.
remembered that the thing could potentially
Until I
levitate.
remembered, oh wait, she can fly.
Well,
Levitate. There's a difference. She could levitate.
Well, at that height, I consider it flying.
Right.
that was,
I think we just go across.
Are you sure?
I don't think we climb down this cliff.
The rock fell all the way down, right?
Yeah.
It fell all the way down to the ground.
There eventually was a bottom.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't see any spider webs beneath the.
You don't see any spider webs here.
Okay.
And was
Wait,
the,
so
was
which
the stone
you threw the rock off the edge, or he
I
threw
did.
the rock?
I did.
Okay.
was the stone bright enough that if there would have been spider webs going down, we would have seen them for at least the first.
I mean,
several
if
hundred
it
feet.
passed reasonably close to them, maybe. But I mean, it doesn't look like there's spider webs, at least in like sort of the upper level, the part that you can see into this chasm. But yeah, everybody who's standing at the edge, please roll a perception check.
That one.
17.
17.
I also can't see though. I don't have dark vision.
But you have the thing.
Disadvantage.
He has the light, the 15-meter light in him.
That's not
Disadvantage.
real helpful in this situation.
17.
Fortunately for you, what you notice is a light source coming up. It's green.
Is the red stones that he had earlier brighter than the green one? Like that we'd be able to shine it down and look at whatever this is?
My fire,
Yeah.
you right? It's not.
It's not that
Okay.
much brighter. And again, it's like literally, so you saw like just the faintest glow down at the bottom of this cavern, but it's becoming less faint.
Okay. Now this is a general question about
So how much of our platform? I'm not gonna stand near the edge.
Okay.
I'm still looking,
I'm walking
for sure.
back. Now.
Yeah.
I'm still looking.
Okay.
I take the hint
You
and
didn't
kind of
notice
get my crossbow out.
I'm
So-
still.
I'm assuming you probably.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, Nero. So that's what like, look, do you see that?
Oh,
you
God,
see that
I'm near the edge now.
Okay, real quick, how light works? Like, I have the blue hammer of flame, whatever.
The blue flame hammer, yeah.
Yes.
Or,
The hammer
no.
blue flame.
Blue flame warhammer.
Yeah,
Blue hammer
yeah,
flame.
yeah.
Now, if I ignite this, does that like light the entire cavern we're in? Like, not. We don't know how big it is. But like,
So you'd be able to see like your immediate vicinity much better, it would light it about as much as you expect a torch to light it, but it's not really once you get further than like 60 feet out, it's not really helping. Like
Okay.
maybe you can see like, oh well, I think there's like
A wall
a
there.
cave wall over there, but
And this
details
is
really
the-
hard to discern.
The light cantrip.
The light cantrip would be brighter, but more of the same. Yeah, but either of those would very, very quickly turn you just into a beacon
Gotcha.
for anything.
Anything that's potentially running up a cavern.
Yeah.
Or flying or levitating.
Yeah.
Andrew, come look at this thing down there.
I walk over.
I guess
I
I.
wouldn't.
I'm looking at that symbol still.
So I walk over and check out what's
I'm gonna
What's
call
down
it-
Does anybody recognize this thing?
So the
how
the symbol-
quickly, like, am I able to get a sense for how quickly it's coming up?
Not as fast as it like faded from view, but also not necessarily slowly.
Before it gets too close, I'm just gonna start stepping back and like taking out my crossbow and just kind of preparing for.
Right.
I haven't. I would just say
If you're
like,
looking at the symbol, assuming you're like within 10 or so feet of it, you sort of so the Underdark's very temperate. The climate's very like average, medium all the time. You're rarely too hot or too cold. So you can tell that this symbol is kind of, it's not glowing at all, but you can kind of like feel a little bit of heat emanating from it.
Okay. I've just been staying there for a weirdly long time, just kind of like staring at it, not really saying much.
I think
So
that
I-
we need to make a decision
I-
on this. We either need to cross this bridge or we need to.
how long is this bridge?
From one side to the other is like a full 80 feet.
Oh,
Well, there's no decision.
yeah. I don't know that we try to run across that when
Yeah.
something is.
Absolutely.
Let's just get ready.
Yeah.
How much landing do we have? And
I can draw this for you.
if it's important, I mean, you don't have to draw it out.
I would try to shuffle like the kids back and just prepare because
Yeah, that's
we haven't encountered many nice things in the Underdark
That's
actually.
the whole point.
Okay, so we'll make this like,
The other side.
yeah, this will be the opening. And this is the tunnel you guys just came out of. And there's sort of a rough edge over here.
Okay, so pretty good amount of space.
So that's
Let's play the how long until Kevin accidentally draws a penis.
oh
We're getting close.
So close.
Tomorrow's ration.
Eat a dick.
Only if you draw
I
it.
still remember really early on in Rise of Lord, Zach like pretty much perfectly drew one, and we just could not get over it.
There you
It looks like
go.
an umbrella.
I don't even want to draw the other side of the bridge now because it's just not
Two
gonna-
balls.
Whatever.
We can't see that far. Don't worry.
Where's the
Right,
symbol?
that's just the
Yeah.
other end.
Where's the symbol at?
The symbol is over here.
Okay.
So, should we arrange our things?
And light is like coming up over there. Yeah, so please place your miniatures.
I'm for sure looking at this thing.
Everybody brace yourselves.
This is like the first time I've seen light, and
So
I'm already frustrated that we lost the only guy.
Oh,
who
no,
was
buddy.
there.
You were peeking over the.
No. So I started stepping back was my point.
Oh, yeah.
You put me like.
Hey, you could have gone with them, Tier. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
You
I
could
was
have.
going to.
And then grab another one of those.
Yeah, right there.
Got the children back.
Was I able to 5 foot back or not?
No, you have enough time. You can all have
All right.
you all have a round to prepare yourselves.
Okay.
And please roll initiative.
Oh God.
A 19.
Oh, that's not
I don't even know what's coming up.
16.
Oh, man. There he is.
It's an 11 and it flipped.
It's just Zara coming back around. Hey guys, I'm dead.
Just flying at you. That'd be pretty scary.
That's fine. That's representative of how like the characters you were.
Okay. Oh, and I need to flip over to the view that actually has this map on it.
7.
Can I?
All right,
break-
here's your
can I
startling
break right before
transition.
combat?
Huh?
Can I break right before combat here?
Yeah. No, go ahead and refill.
It's
Well, wait.
I
Give
got 9.
9. Okay.
You don't know if it's combat.
Oh, I got
Skabam.
I got 6.
Oh man, that's an awful view of what we're actually looking at right now. So I'm going to adjust this camera.
Scoot it forward
Or
up.
adjusting the angle upwards fashion. All right, that'll work.
That would be good.
Okay, so let's get some initiatives. Okay, so
My initiative's not very high. I'm just gonna get thrown over there.
Wow. How was your initiative that high?
I rolled a 4.
You're-
DAC
You probably
6.
still have more than me.
Okay.
You tied me.
Look at that combat view. So sexy.
wait, okay, so struggle bus. All right, anybody get above a 20?
No.
Anybody what?
Get above a 20 in their initiative roll.
Nope.
Okay.
The next tier. Sorry, I'm
Wait, above 15? Sorry.
yeah.
That I don't know. Anybody above 15?
9, 7, 7.
Oh, he is. Tier.
Cool. It'd be cool if you like told me the number.
That might be useful. Yeah.
Nah. That ain't us. We don't need combat.
All right, above 10.
Nope.
No.
9, 7, 7.
Wait, what?
9, 7, 7.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
We're
Well-
hesitant. We don't want to
Well,
act first.
in the in the second half of this fight, we're really gonna wail on him.
Basically.
After we take a beating.
I hope not.
But he said he got.
So I'm on my grade.
What did Tier get? Like 17 or something? Something above the 15?
Yes.
All right. That's fine.
So I'm not lighting up my sword at this point. Well, half of our group can't see. But I guess we have the dim light going still, right?
I mean, in this part of the cavern, there's no other light sources aside from what you guys have with you.
And,
Right.
our markings with the.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's worth lighting up my sword.
Probably.
Probably. We're already a beacon of...
Trouble.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
Somebody wants to
And
get
now,
some-
a word from our sponsors.
D6.
Right, we don't have any sponsors, so no
D6.
words. Sorry, yeah, D6s. You know, the only reason fireballs are great. Oh, yes.
So,
Episode 2.
Our co-sponsor. Still D6s. The only reason sneak attack is any good.
well, so at this point...
Okay, what was your initiative?
I was at 6.
Yours? Oh boy. All
9,
right.
7, 7,
Uh,
6.
You were what, 17?
16.
16.
Good, you're
Alright.
9, right?
16.
Caleb's 9.
Dan
yeah.
says stream looking good.
Yeah, our
Cool.
guild
What did you say
sucks
yours
at
was? No,
initiative.
yours 6. You were at 10?
9.
9. 9.
It's just dex, right?
And,
Dex added to the dice roll.
Well, as a, I don't know if you get it yet, but as
I
a
don't have
warbard,
anything.
so you get bonus to your skill checks, and then initiative sort of counts to that.
Oh,
So
really?
if you get that, it's another +1. But yeah,
Wait, what do I add to initiative?
So,
just your dex modifier.
Oh. 7 or 16, yeah.
Okay. So we entered a 10. Somebody had a 9. No, 7s. You had a no. He was a 10. 7s and
Yeah.
a 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also...
Who has the higher dex? You have the higher dex. Okay, so
At
7.
this point, I'm going to say Ignium, light up my blade, so everybody has...
It's not your turn.
Oh,
Come on,
that could be
man.
part of
What's
movement.
why we're doing the initiative
Part
right
of
now, and you
movement.
get around before it's going to get up to you.
I pulled the sword, man.
So Wickham.
I think you're going to get
His
this
last-
before it actually starts.
I was kind of like zoned out though.
Right.
So that's fine.
That's fair. It fits.
Yeah. So it's
Okay. So the NPCs rolled really well. I'm not rolling individual rolls for them because that'd be absurd. This is literally like 8 of them left. Why? I don't know.
Why though?
Yeah, so you see that all the NPCs sort of ready themselves. They know something's coming. Eldith pulls out her warhammer in one hand and a hand crossbow in the other, and Stool shuffles over and is behind her. Jimjar has his hand crossbow out. He's ready to go. Bupido still looking a little roughed up from the day before, but he's got a short sword in one hand and his hand crossbow in the other. Not sure what's coming. Prince Darendil, he doesn't need a weapon. He's got claws. He's fine. Topsy and Turvy kind of tuck into another corner. They both have short swords out, and Shushar is also just kind of standing over by a wall. He's not really into the whole fighting thing. Okay, and that brings us to Tyr.
Okay. I will. Well,
Judging by its rate of approach, you're sure you have a battle round before this thing's gonna. Whatever's coming is to you.
I'm gonna ignite my blue warhammer. I'm gonna take a step back.
Okay, so go ahead and take a 5-foot step. Although that's not a thing in 5th edition.
Step 5 feet back, just so that it doesn't grab me off the ledge.
Okay.
Maybe it's still one.
It's possible.
And you notice that like when you let it up pretty abruptly that the deep gnomes and they kind of they're squinting. This is you just put like a lit torch in front of their faces when they're used to mostly total darkness. But okay. Next up is Ander.
All right, I'm gonna step back a little bit more. That should be fine.
Okay. Zatuo.
I'll just take a defensive stance. Standing my ground.
Okay. Nero.
I'll call out Ignium, and my blade will light up as well.
Cool.
Double lightness.
Right. Although like blue fire versus like moonlight, that's a little less harsh. But yeah, they're still squinting a wee bit. And Wickham.
Then I just turn it up. What's going on with the flames?
Who turned the lights on? All right. And bottom of the round, you guys see the light finally crest over the surface.
Piece of big small.
In the grip of this.
That's not small.
Yikes.
That looks fine.
It's fine.
He's a little scurry.
I know what meat it is.
No, you don't.
I've used it.
This looks terrifying. Oh god.
Hey.
That was fine.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it crawling or flying?
It's flying.
Okay, I can't tell if those wings are like.
It is
able
very
to
much
carry it
flying, and it's holding this little glowing rock in its hands. And it looks pissed.
Did it take damage from the rock though?
You don't know.
3d6.
So this,
That was
this
a long fall
torch
for
light
that
around
rock.
him isn't like affecting his vision at all. Is he like squinting real hard or?
Make a perception check.
15.
You're not quite sure.
Okay. Is he like squinting like me?
I mean, he's got that angry face on.
Oh, he's like this.
Do any of us know what that is?
I mean, you can roll some checks.
Is that a hook horror?
Religion.
Probably religions from you
History.
guys.
20.
Yours would probably be Arcana.
Also 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
This is a wait. You both got natural 20s?
Yeah.
This is a shadow demon.
Oh.
Demons.
and Stefan the person knew that.
He could have used the wrong mini for all I knew, but
Right.
Great.
Well, yeah, he crests the top and looks at all of you. Very, very clearly lit by multiple torches in the Underdark.
Torches. Gotcha.
And
This demon is lit.
and he just like stares you all down and doesn't say anything, and tosses the rock, just tosses the rock onto the ledge with you all.
He's gonna go back now.
DM laughs.
Uh-oh. No.
We're very sorry, Mr. Shadow Demon.
Wait, who's?
I'm the most in front of
Yeah,
you.
You're the one. No, you're not. Who's right in front of the bridge?
Oh, that's
Durandal.
Oh yeah.
Who's right in front of the bridge?
Darendal.
Darandal. That's his name.
Why is he in the front?
At the bridge.
That's not where he'd be.
Where is
But that's okay. So he's coming at the landing, I think.
I'm left. The dead center is him. So this is Tyr.
Oh, that's
Wait.
Tyr?
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Right.
Oh,
Pickaxe
okay.
is tier.
Yeah. So after he drops, returns your glow in the dark pebble. He's going to fly another 10 feet forward and slash at you, Tyr, with his claws.
Yikes. Will it be at ground level?
Not the cleric again. It's fine.
Poor guy. How's a 10 suit you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I was pretty sure.
Now that we have
Right.
armor, we're
Okay,
not gonna get KO'd.
so he's pissed, but he missed, and that's going to do
That's
it.
his campaign slogan.
Exactly. So after he flies up at you, the NPCs are up next.
Oh.
God damn it! All right, this is just going to take forever. All right, so the ones with the hand crossbows out are going to take their shots. And Eldith misses terribly. Natural 1 for Bupito. Gosh. Natural 1 for Darendil. Oh
They're
my
all
goodness.
squinting.
Wait.
Hey, Jim Jar is going to
They
pull his weight
on
though.
purpose.
They've all
It was 2-1-1 and then an 18
they've all
now.
been blind.
No, I get it. Everyone doesn't want to help you. He wants to just fail.
So yeah, so Jim Jar
know the shadow.
Jim Jar finally takes his shot with his crossbow and manages to make contact. And he 7.
I'm strapping up, baby.
Okay, that's my pencil. Where's my pencil? Let's get it right. Yeah, so you see the crossbow bolt just like make contact straight in the chest, but it just doesn't seem like it's going in very deep. He definitely felt it, but it didn't look particularly effective. And then right, that does it for the NPCs. Tyr, you are up.
So I am going to wield my warhammer with 2 hands. And I'm going to swing it at him.
Okay.
Let's swing it away from him.
Swing it away.
12.
12. You swing, but it's just wide. He's still airborne at this point. He hasn't just plopped down on the ground.
I'm going to use... Actually, it's too late. Never mind. I'm going to use my War Priest ability to get a second attack.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you get like your wisdom amount of those per day. But yeah, go ahead and make your second attack.
That's good.
6.
Dang it.
I'm going to re-roll that with Channel Divinity.
Re-roll it?
Yeah, there's one that's... Hang on.
Are you thinking of War God's Blessing?
Maybe. Probably.
That one's just, you add a plus 10. I
Yes,
believe.
that's
Plus 10.
If you have that already?
Yes.
Okay, so that gives you a grand total of how much?
21.
21. Okay, yeah. The second swing, that makes contact. So go ahead and roll your damage. And don't forget to add the extra, you get like 1 point of fire damage since your Blue Flame Warhammer's lit up.
2.
2!
Yeah.
Hey, that
Wait,
fire
it's-
doubled his
Do you
damage.
have any strength?
Did you literally just roll a 1 on your
One
d10?
d10 plus 1 point of fire damage.
Well, you also add your
Strength.
strength modifier if you're
Oh.
hitting with it.
5.
5.
He's two-handed as well.
No, that doesn't.
Well, that
matter.
makes it a
That's why
D10
it's
instead of a
D10.
D8.
First,
Oh,
there's no
interesting.
1.5 strength.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
That
Yep.
sucks.
Yeah, you make contact and it deals some damage. It's not your finest swing, but it works. It works. Right, like it seems okay. You've missed more horribly, I guess. Ander, you're up. If that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. That's because that's my action and a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No move action, but
I'm not gonna yell. I'm good.
He's like, nope. I'm gonna stand here and take this.
Yeah.
What's my strength?
Ander.
All right, I'm going to shoot at it with my hand crossbow.
Ooh, we're keeping up our great rolls.
Is it a 1?
That's
That's a 3.
It's
So,
a legendary 3.
what, like 6?
Well, you can see
Yeah.
That's no good.
I was like, I have to add to it, but I
You
know
just,
it's not
it's
gonna
clear
matter.
over
Yeah.
his head.
Um,
You play real good music, but this combat thing, you might not be cut out for it.
Can't see
All right,
the levels.
please, Ender Stormond is fantastic at combat.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Really just the best.
Then I'm going to I'm going to continue to talk about how wonderful both myself and Tyr are at combat in an attempt to inspire Tyr.
Thank you.
All right. How do you inspire him?
I talk about how between him and myself we'll be able to slay this demon without fail.
I agree.
I concur with this statement.
Regardless of your feelings on the subject, you're inspired.
Terribly.
You're kind of a stubborn little defiant person, and you're just like, you know what? Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zatuo, you're up next.
It's just like, no, we're gonna do this.
We got it.
I'm gonna charge on this side toe. So I move quickly.
Okay.
Does he get? How do attacks of opportunity work?
If you leave the threatened zone of a
Okay.
creature
But not
without using the disengage action,
Got it.
you will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Got a threatened zone out opposed to threatened square.
Wait, yeah, what did I say?
You just said right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Actually, why am I charging? I just
Right, yeah, it's not square, it's what, yeah,
Zone.
yep.
I forgot this.
You can circle them in their threatened zone. If you're like, running circles around this shadow demon.
Actually, instead, I'll just walk up to him. Not to him, but besides him.
Walk up to him and
So I
like,
can
"You want some
fight
Shadow
him as
D?"
well. And I will start out with a first attack. Oh god.
Killing everything.
Oh,
but the
and
rest.
sorry to just backtrack just a teensy bit because you guys rolled 20s on your knowledge checks.
Yeah.
You know that as a member of the demon race, that shadow demons are resistant to quite a few different types of damage, as well as immune to some, and they've got great dark vision and they can fly.
Do we know which ones they're immune to?
With our 2 natural 20s?
Yeah, 20 combined.
With the 20s combined.
Here?
So you know that they're immune to cold, lightning, and poison.
Okay.
And you know that they're at least resistant to most kinds of just like normal physical attacks.
Gotcha.
Immune.
Resistant to.
Okay.
They take half damage, basically. Take reduced damage. And there may or may not be more, but you've never personally encountered any of these before, so you're not entirely sure.
Alright, I got a 23 to hit with a short sword.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And I'll test the waters, and I'll just do another martial arts attack. So follow with a roundhouse kick.
Okay.
I'm not doing third. Oh god, where did it go?
6.
That's only 11.
11 damage.
No, for the second attack.
Or for the second attack. Okay, yeah, the second one, you make contact with the sword, but he's sturdier and keeps his place a little more, so your roundhouse kick that you follow up with is just a little off, and your foot basically just goes like right in front of his face, but doesn't make contact.
Taking 5 damage. Slashing from the short sword.
5 slashing damage? Okay. Yeah, it's not nearly as effective as you would have expected under normal circumstances.
Okay, and that's all I do. Kind of squinting upside the
As he does, as opposed to what? You just squint all the time.
I squint a lot.
Yeah,
We
Nero.
noticed.
Nero, you're up.
I'm moving in. And I'm going to cast Divine Smite. So
Okay.
If I hit, it'll matter. If
I
not,
think Divine Smite says when you.
I think it's, so if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a
Declare
concentration check.
beforehand.
No, you do, but I think it has like a concentration component, so that the next time you make contact.
No.
I thought it was like when you hit, you
It's
can
when
declare
you
it
hit.
as
when
a
I hit
swing.
someone in melee, I can expend spell
Yeah, it's
slots.
when you hit, you release.
Oh,
the-
okay. Sorry, I was thinking of the actual spells that paladins have to boost damage, but yeah, okay. The ability one's different.
So you attack
Oh, so I
with
can.
your weapon.
It can be if I actually hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If you hit, you're like, oh sweet, I hit him. I would like to divine strike
I
his
would like
ass.
to hit him harder now, thank you.
Force face.
That was actually
available.
Okay, and so you have the moon touched
great. So
great sword. Okay.
yes.
Nice.
Oh,
There we go.
baby, plus 8 to that, so 24.
24? Yeah, that hits.
Divine Smite.
Divine Smite on him.
Okay, does that do a specific
Radiant
damage type?
Radiant.
Okay.
damage.
That seems
And
good
I
for
get
a
an
shadow.
extra, and I get one extra D8. It's 2 D8s and one extra D8 against undead / fiends.
Shadow demons are fiends.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, roll up all of your damage. But so I need
To clarify,
I need
what
I need
the
the
dice are the radiant ones, right?
Yeah.
yes,
3d8.
yeah, I need your different damage types separately.
So Viz and then Reader.
Yeah, just give me the regular weapon damage first, and then roll the radiant stuff.
Big whammy.
I got a 2 on this, so I get to re-roll it. Because roll 1 or 2, or is that overall 1 or 2 on damage?
You roll one.
That's the dice. It's for this. Reroll the 2.
Sweet.
You keep whatever you get afterwards, but
Nice.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it just keeps you from
Is that
minting
eight-
out on your
Is that
damage.
8 slicing damage?
That's
Slashing?
8
Plus your
plus my 3 strength, so 11.
Okay, so he takes 11 from the great sword. Okay, and the radiant damage.
Jesus.
5.
6.
8.
8 total radiant damage.
Yeah, I don't think I don't recall that. That's right.
Okay.
So you person.
Just gotta check something real quick.
I'm getting hit next turn.
No, we're friends now.
You're gonna get carried away, actually.
Oh god. Shadow demon just
Just pulls you off the ledge.
just grapples you and flies away.
Wait, gosh, don't look at the demon he is.
Oh yeah, okay.
This is not a character.
Just had to double check that
Uh,
it was just double damage when it happens. So 8 radiant damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, this is superbly effective. It just, like, you lay into it, and I mean, it's divine smite for a reason,
Yeah.
and this thing's a demon. It's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. You just cleave a huge gash across its its right shoulder. Like, this is deep, and you can tell it burns, and he shrieks in pain.
Take notes, boy.
Very I knew you could do it.
I'll admit that was impressive. I'm glad to see that you do have some use.
Yeah, after Nero is Wickham.
Follow that up.
What are you all yelling? Oh God! I'm gonna
Kids, get off
I'm gonna just blast him because anything else would hurt you guys. Hey, that's pretty good. That's gonna be a 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you a 10. Yeah, it's a 10. 6 plus 10 damage.
10 damage. Yeah, that's good. That's a good solid hit.
And it's force damage. It's,
Yep.
Yeah.
Just takes it straight to the chest and it's knocked back a little, just taken aback by the force damage out of nowhere. It kind of expected the crossbow bolts, but Eldritch Blast is a little more rarely seen in the Underdark. Anything else? Movement or
I'm
anything?
gonna move here.
Okay. And yeah, so back to the NPCs. So move stool like back towards a wall.
Run away.
And have Shushar kind of just be standing in front of all the different kids. And Eldith will take a few steps back away from you guys, like away from where I am, like me personally, like so that way. Yeah. No. Yep. And Bupito is gonna like slide around the wall closer to me. He's in the back. He's the one closest to you. The short one.
Yeah,
That one.
That one.
Towards me. A little bit more. But he's still just sitting back with his crossbow because he still is beat up from the night before. Darendil, I think, can come up and take a swipe at this demon.
Yeah.
So he is going to do so.
That was the last thing he ever did.
That's 1 hit and 2 hits. All right. Yeah, you see Darendil kind of charge in. He growls as he's approaching, kind of slipping out of the cool elven prince mode and a little bit more into feral Quaggoth mode. He just makes 2 claw attacks against this thing right in the back, and he strikes true, but it's not that deep. This Shadow Demon's got a pretty tough hide, but he landed 2 attacks, which is pretty solid. And the remaining NPCs are each going to make their hand crossbow shots. Eldith is going to hit. Bupito misses. Jimjar also misses. Negativo, but one additional hit. Eldith does a couple points. She lands one, just sticks in his shoulder, but he's not bothered by that nearly as much as that wonderful radiant damage.
Right.
And as after they release their shots, a second creature
Should have used divine then.
No.
floats up, flies up.
No.
From the opposite
Oh,
side.
jeez.
That's okay.
It's the same thing. You didn't have another shadow demon mini, so this is literally called a shadow, and I was like, it's close enough. they're both shadow demons. They both look like that. This one's not carrying any green illuminated rock though.
Oh, that's not something they just carry around? I wonder
No,
where I
it's
got the
not.
first one.
It's not.
Good question.
Yeah. And it is going to attack Eldith.
Oh, yikes.
Oh,
Jeez.
She go.
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Gosh.
We like that one.
I don't like that.
That sounded like quite a few dice coming down.
He was like,
Well, do you guys have any extra D10s?
No. None of us do. Look at that.
Yeah, Eldith takes a pretty good shot with his demon's claws, and as she gets hit with it though, it's weird. She gets like slashed like sort of like in the shoulder chest area, but as soon as she like gets hit, she recoils and is grabbing her head.
Don't be touched.
Oh.
Don't touch.
No touching.
Yeah, no, that was a really fucking good hit on Eldith.
Okay.
And
That's fine.
Like critical hit,
That's-
double good hit, or
it wasn't a crit. It was just a pretty good
That
shot.
is a crit. I don't think we should know that.
well,
I mean, you could see her. It was
you roll.
she's very
dice
damaged.
twice.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
I mean, no, I'll get it. If I crit something, I'm going to get excited and actually crit you guys. So.
Just make sure it's not me.
But yeah, so that's it for the NPCs. That's it for Shadow Demon number 2. And then back to the original Shadow Demon, who is now very upset at a certain paladin.
Yeah, I'm showing him. Bring it. As long as it's below my AC.
bring it as long as it doesn't make contact with me. Okay, yeah, he's going to make a claw attack at you, Lenny. Excuse me, Nero. And he's definitely hitting you. Alright. So you take 11 psychic damage.
Ooh. Yikes.
Ow.
That's fine. Ow.
And then...
Oh, that's not how you do that.
Nah, he's not. Dim or light darkness. Yeah, okay. That's all for Shadow Demon number 2. Brings us to Tyr.
Okay. I am going to move 10 feet this way. Actually, 5 feet this way, yeah. And I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on Shadow Demon number 2.
Okay, the one that hit Eldith.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with inspiration for this one.
So you can do it after. So make
sweet.
your normal spell attack roll, and if you don't feel like it's particularly good, you can roll the inspiration too.
14 plus. It's my. It's your spellcasting one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
so wisdom.
It should be at like the middle top of your character sheet. It's your.
Plus wisdom is plus 3. So.
But you get you have proficient. So you're proficient
Okay.
with this type of spellcasting.
Yeah,
So
19.
Lenny, show them where the middle the spell save DC.
Yeah, in there.
I believe you use the same thing for your spell attack modifier.
Efficiency bonus plus 8, maybe.
That says 8 plus charisma.
Right. What do you roll on your?
So it's going to be your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
It's on your
Yeah,
it's on your
5.
spell
Plus
sheet,
5.
right?
So 19.
Yeah. 19 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll some radiant damage.
4, 9, 15.
15.
It's like
15 exactly average.
This is very, very perfectly average. As they say in Pokemon, it's super effective. You just like this guy. He took his slash at Eldith, and immediately you just like take this ball of divine energy and just Kamehameha wave his chest, and the orb just hits him right in the chest, and he's just completely taken aback by it. And now the next, so it does a lot of damage, and the next attack roll against that demon will have advantage, I believe is how the spell works.
Yes. Okay, yeah, and weapon attack as a bonus action.
What was that?
Yeah, so it has advantage on the next attack, and then that's it for me.
Okay.
Has advantage on me?
We have
No.
Whoever-
You have advantage against it. The guiding bolt sort of sticks around, and it just like helps you guide your strike.
Now just a beacon.
Ander.
Come hit me.
Well, I'm glad to see you're better at fighting demons than you are at dice.
Thank you, Ander. And my inspiration is not that.
I'm going to seeing the new demon that's now threatening and we're a little out of position for. I'm going to insult the demon. Am I able to do that and mock it viciously?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I will.
Wait, read me the text on that spell real quick.
The spell is super.
You unleash a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments at a creature you can see within range if the target can hear you, though it need not understand you.
Oh, okay, perfect then.
Figure is probably the important part of
Yep.
that.
That's exactly what I was curious about.
It kills if it.
Instant death for all fiends. Wow, that's really good for this campaign.
What a good cantrip. All right, so it makes a wisdom saving throw.
It makes a wisdom
Which
saving
is
throw.
maybe also the important part is that I'm not making an attack roll to take up the only advantage that Guiding Light offers.
I'm pretty sure that your spell save DC is solidly above a 10, so
Yes.
it is affected.
All right, so it takes 1d4 psychic damage. Hey, 4! Max damage! Doing it.
Yeah, no,
Take that kind of psychic damage.
Man, he came up to help his buddy.
What'd you say
Now
to-
he's just really upset about
Right.
it.
I told him his wings look stupid.
That's cold, man. That's cold. Zatuo. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to finish this one off, and I'll unleash a flurry of blows. So, short sword, punch, kick, whatever.
Okay.
Uppercut. Sword attack is for 16.
16, that'll hit. This is on the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 16's a hit.
I'm going to roll 4 damage for that. The first unarmed strike is a nat 20. Do you roll for confirm crits?
No, you just confirm.
No, it's just, yeah, automatic
So
thing.
it's 1, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the first punch.
Okay, so is this a flurry?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm spending key points. And then the second unarmed strike is another 18 for 6 damage.
Okay, so the first one did 8 damage?
The first slash is 4.
Right.
First punch is 8, and the second punch is 6.
So
Okay, I mean, you make contact 3 times, and you just are battering him, and he looks like he's in pretty bad shape, but he's still there, flapping his wings, right in front of you. And Nero, you're back up.
Alright, I'm gonna use Booming Blades, my cantrip.
Okay.
Does thunder damage.
So there's a caveat. The thunder damage only goes off if they move after you connect with Booming Blade. Just for the record.
Gotcha. That's not worth it. Nah, we'll do that.
I mean, yeah. If all else you're doing is attacking, it's kind of a free
22.
roll. 22, that definitely hits.
Plus 8 to attack.
Yeah. Cause
Wait, what?
Because plus you get proficiency, right?
Yeah.
Plus 5.
No.
proficiency's plus 2.
Yeah.
Well.
What's your strength?
16 plus the 3, 19.
Okay, so
Plus
yeah,
five.
so it's 16
Plus
plus.
5.
It's plus 5, but
That includes proficiency.
So it is
that's your
plus
strength.
5.
It's your roll plus your strength plus your proficiency bonus, which should be 5.
It's 5.
Okay.
Most
So
of us will have plus 5 at this point.
basically, yeah.
You heard.
Okay, yeah. So what's the total?
19.
19.
19. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll damage.
Finish on.
Kill it. Someone use the guiding bolt. Kill it.
Ooh. 11.
Big money.
Oh yeah, and he goes down. Like you literally
Calculate.
this. He's got such a tough hide, but this hit connects like with the top of his shoulder, and it doesn't even like cleave through him, but you almost like bludgeon him into the ground, and he's no longer inflating. He's just on the ground, lifeless, bleeding this like disgusting black ichor blood just spilling out of him.
I'll name so. I'll have to get candies for the miniatures. Whoever kills him gets the.
That was Nero. Wickham, bring it up to the rear.
That one's dead. Let's go for that one.
Advantage.
I don't need it apparently, but we'll see if I can come back. I do not. So 15 plus 6, 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And then 12 damage.
Whew. Not bad.
And then before I attack, I'm gonna move like right here, so I theoretically get a beeline at him. Not that it really matters.
Will you make a beeline for him?
Well, I know. I just like move into a position that there's less people in the way.
Gotcha.
Are you trying?
Yeah,
Yep.
nothing that like makes a huge difference, but
Probably does to Wickham.
yeah. So I don't want to hit anybody in an accident.
Right. So that shadow demon is probably pretty salty about getting hit with
No,
a
he's fine. He
guiding
likes
bolt
it.
this round.
It's like a
Eldritch Blast.
So he is going
like a
to
massage.
fly at Tyr,
Oh yeah, it's fine.
and I believe Eldith does not get an attack of opportunity because she's holding a ranged weapon.
And she's also holding her head. And
Yeah.
Right. Also, she's in a lot of pain. Okay. But yeah, so it's gonna make its claw attack at Tyr.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage because of vicious mockery.
Ooh, well played.
you can do stuff too.
13 and 13. So it's gonna be a hit.
I'm helping.
Right, good try. It was a really good try.
I did 4 damage.
It rolled a 13 twice without its bonuses. So it's an 18 total,
Yeah.
which I believe hits
That does-
all of you. Oh shit. You You take 13 points of psychic damage.
It's
So
fine.
you get hit with this,
It's just for
the
clarity.
hit with the claws, but it's not that deep. But yeah, you just are racked with this horrific pain in your head.
I see you're unconscious.
There we go. Am I?
No, Elden got hit with the last one.
Oh, you hit that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
No,
I'm really-
everything stopped going down.
I'm super pissed at this thing. It needs
Well,
to die.
I don't think any of us are pleased with it,
No.
but I can see why you'd be more pissed at the moment.
And then it's going to use the rest of its movement to. So instead of running straight at you, it's going to stay closer to the lip of the bridge,
Okay.
so that when it flies straight up right now, it only takes 2 attacks of opportunity from you,
Okay.
and I believe that's Anson.
How do
No,
attacks-
that's Darendil.
I do attacks of opportunity.
It's just make 1 regular melee attack against it with your warhammer.
And you use your
Do I have
reaction.
to roll to hit or is it not?
No, you roll a hit.
Okay.
It's a normal attack.
yeah.
Otherwise.
I rolled a 15. I'm pretty sure that hits.
Yeah, 15 plus whatever else you got. Yeah, that'll hit. So go ahead and roll damage. Darendil also is going to take a swing with his claws and gets a natural 1.
7.
7 damage from
One point
plus
of fire damage.
plus 1 point of fire.
So 6 normal, 1 point fire damage.
Okay, you add your strength and everything to it.
Oh, 9 normal damage, 1 point of fire
Okay.
damage.
Yeah, no, it's a good clean hit as it goes up. Darendil kind of takes like a vicious wild swing, but it's no good. He flies up too quickly for him. And yeah, this guy's not looking super great, but he's now about 45 feet straight up from you.
How much? How high?
45 feet. And now it's the NPC's turn, and so we've got a couple people with hand crossbows who are going to take their shots. Eldith scores a hit.
Let's go.
Vito scores a hit.
Let's go.
Jim Jar misses.
Useless.
Yup. Yeah, so that's a couple of hits.
Are we able to see the top of the cavern?
No. Not from where you. Well, so I mean, like you see the edge of the wall, but it sort of just goes up until you can't
Gotcha.
see. It's just darkness. And they both rolled the minimum amount of damage. So yeah, not great. They both land their shots as it flies up, but again, I mean, these bolts haven't been doing a ton, so similarly ineffective this time. And now we're back at the top, and it is Tyr's turn.
Okay. Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
This man is
19.
Doing things.
yeah, that's going to be a hit.
Alright. 14 radiant damage.
14 radiant damage. And you blast this motherfucker out of the sky.
Let's go.
Wait, you said it was 14 radiant damage?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just
Yeah.
you blast him. You catch him clean at the top of his straight upward ascent, and he just drops.
Oh, sweet.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
18.
18.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're able to like sidestep him falling. He doesn't just like fall out of the sky and land on top of you. Yeah, and the shadow demons are very dead now.
Am I still afflicted by the psychic issue? That
There was no issue. You just took a lot of damage.
okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I thought
it was just psychic damage.
okay, I wasn't sure. If that's
Yeah, there was no lasting effect aside from the health that you lost.
Okay,
Maybe a mild migraine.
gotcha.
Should go over and check on Eldith.
I can do that.
Check on your self while you're at it.
I'll be.
Right.
Eldith,
Yeah, meanwhile she's screaming.
you fought valiantly, but I see you've taken some damage. Are you all right?
Well, fuck no, I'm not all right. Did you see what he did? He hit you too.
I know. I'm gonna cast
Did you just assume
Cure Wounds on Eldith.
Okay.
I'm using lay on hand on myself.
Well, we can probably just take a short rest, and I can expend an inspiration for Song of Rest. Everyone gets an extra 1d6 of hit points.
That might
I
make
will.
more sense.
When you laying hands back, long rest or short
Long
rest?
rest.
Yeah.
Don't use it.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, so we'll just take a short rest. How long is that?
Oh, short rest is like in the realm of 45 minutes usually.
That's fine.
How many health points do we recover during a short rest?
It depends how many hit dice you elect to use.
Got it. And we can use any number of those up to
However many you have. Yes.
Right.
But keep in mind you do not get any more until
Long rest.
your next long rest.
Okay.
Same with your spell slots.
Yep.
So
I'm not going to use.
you're
Cure
not going to
Wounds.
use cure wounds. Okay.
Ander talked some sense into me before I called upon the divine help of.
I know
Gotcha.
I know you want to use your divinity and cast your spells and everything, but how about instead we use the healing power of my words?
They did seem to work very well in that last fight. Let's give it a shot.
Or we could just.
Darendil chimes in. He's like, he does have a soothing voice.
Well, look, I like him and all, but let's not go too far.
Thank you, Darren.
I look at the demon bodies. I assume they have nothing on them.
Nope. Nothing. Just themselves, their bodies.
Is there any
That's just,
like
you know,
useful
appropriate.
demon-y parts that we can take?
I mean, you could try and like cut off their horns or their wings.
We
I
get
don't
their
know
wings,
what
but
you'd
we've
use
already
it for.
established that they're
They're
crappy.
they're
Stupid.
terrible wings.
They're awful wings. You would never want to harvest those.
Everyone here that they're terrible.
They're really
Plus,
stupid.
plus in reality, do you want to be like carrying around the wings of some slain
not
demon?
Hey, it might
not
scare
the
away the same
demon,
kinds of
or
demons.
not the wings, but I can I try to get the horns?
Sure.
Just like one set of demon horns.
Sure. Yeah.
Sounds dope.
Make a nature check, please.
Are we taking? Is this our short rest?
Yeah, you guys can take a short rest if you want.
And then, what did you cast? What do I get?
I'm using Song of Rest, so you get to roll an extra d6 in addition to whatever hit dice you expend. That doesn't look great. 7.
12. Let's go.
7 was my nature roll.
Is it your hit dice?
Oh, 7 was your nature roll?
Modifier? Or is it just your
You
hit dice?
you do like a pretty crappy job of it, but you can eventually detach the horns from its head.
They're a little like jagged and stuff.
Yeah, like you scratched up the edges. Like they're not pristine shadow demon horns
All
anymore.
right, we'll figure out how to dehorn a shadow demon by the end of this.
Okay, all right.
Do we use my hatchet?
Yeah, go ahead and mark down your or put it on your inventory.
Do I still get the inspiration dice from that fight, or does it?
It goes away after like 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
He didn't need to be inspired by you. He's too good for your inspiration.
He was
Give it to somebody more deserving next time. You know, like Wickham on his initiative rolls.
Well, except for the first roll where I just tapped him on the head with the hammer.
Yes, inspire me
Right.
to pay the fuck attention.
Hey, Wickham's.
But yeah, okay. So you guys
Working man.
rest right here.
He didn't sign up for that.
I didn't.
He signed him up for that.
I signed both of you up. Well,
Not me.
you two up for this. What was the question?
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. So you guys rest here.
I do come over to the sigil again.
Uh-huh.
And hey guys, did any of y'all notice it's a little warmer over here? I'm just like waving my hand really stupidly in front of the.
My hammer is still.
You can tell pretty clearly that it's emanating from the sigil on the wall.
Is it like kind of hot when you have my hand close to it, or is it just
Not
like
super hot, just a little warm. It's just warmer than like the rest of the natural air.
Do I also sense that? Like, if I walk over, I haven't seen this yet. Now that I have my hammer, I'm
He's
going to
brought
walk
it
over
up.
and see. So this is what you guys were talking about earlier, and like I'll put my hand. You said this is warm.
It's like it's kind of warm up in here.
Would I feel that it's warm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
feel the same way.
real quick, guys, maybe we should turn off the lights.
Yeah, I walk over.
I still
Ignium.
the second stone.
That's a good point. I tap the end
It
of
does
the hammer on the
emanate
ground.
a certain heat to it, doesn't it? It's odd.
Is there any light coming off of it?
No,
Okay.
just the heat signature.
And we.
Oh, can I make an Arcana check? Or that's what I already did.
You
right?
can make either.
I'm gonna make an Arcana check. Is that
You make a nature check.
me?
Yeah, and you make a history check.
Okay. 20. Not 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
So
Good.
So you know that the drow in the Underdark, they see in like the infrared, so they would be able to see this heat signature would stand out very clearly to them in the dark, despite there being no other light.
So I tell everyone that I remember a tale from long ago about the ability of drow to see heat signatures and infrared as a thing, and so they would actually be able to visually see this sign on the wall.
What's kind of shade is infrared?
It's
He
like,
doesn't say infrared because I'm pretty sure that word doesn't really exist.
I know. I was
but if he says if he says it, then I can make a pun out of it.
No.
Apparently, I didn't say that.
DM uninspiration. You get a negative 1d6 to a skill check. I'm just kidding.
So you're saying that they can see the heat?
That's what I've. It's almost like, yes. So they'd be able to see the heat from that. They'd theoretically be able to see the heat from us as well.
My next question.
How far away can I see the heat?
Oh,
Do I
from
know?
how far?
Yeah.
I mean, drow have supremely excellent dark vision.
That sucks.
By whose standards?
Even yours.
Really?
So, I'm just curious, real quick. How far away are we from Valkenvelv? Since you
I
said
mean,
it.
you've been traveling for 3 days now. So I mean, you get the first day when you first escaped, you got a couple miles away. The second day you moved slow. The first full day of travel you moved slow. The second day it was a normal pace, and today you've been moving fast. So all in all, you think you're like at least a good 20 miles away from Valkenvelv at this point.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like in the terrain of the Underdark, that's I mean, at least 3 days travel.
Stool.
As evidenced.
Right. As evidenced by the 3 days you have traveled, it's at least 3 days travel.
I'm gonna ask Stool to spore everybody. I have some questions about like where we're at and some stuff. Like, so I'm gonna ask Stool to spore. Well, or maybe not.
Perhaps we should keep going, since apparently there are demons at the bottom of
That's
this
a
cavern.
You know what? You speak wisdom yet again. I'm gonna agree with him.
These are words that Ender does not hear enough.
Yeah. Can we do? Well, does the
Okay.
bridge still look sound? Because he kind of fell. Did the demon fall?
I mean, he
off
fell
the
near
bridge?
it. He
Okay.
didn't make it like obviously more flimsy than a wooden rope bridge already is.
Would we have any idea how many of us it can support at a time? Does it look like that kind of sturdy, or?
I mean, it's hard to say.
Okay.
One thing I will say though is because it's a rope bridge and it like sways and whatnot, it's difficult terrain while you go over it.
Got it.
So you move at like half speed.
So perhaps those of us who are more dexterous should take the first attempt.
Sure.
Let's start crossing.
And also, I would recommend that we have Darendil go last, considering we don't
Know how much weight?
Maybe what about
Normally, I would object to that, but I see your point.
He's
I'm
also
glad that you are.
going to be carrying stools. So.
I think one of us, lighter folk, could be carrying stool.
I pull out my red beetle light and wave.
If the bridge is collapsed.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little slow going, but you made it across.
I'll continue on.
I'll follow quickly behind Ander.
Oh wow, he's already on it.
let's put some space between us.
Like the smallest.
Did I feel any
Do you want us to?
unsteadiness other than being difficult?
I mean, it's a rope bridge. Nothing.
Stupid fucking bro.
Yeah, nothing really stood out about your your walk across the 80-foot bridge.
Maybe send some of
The kids.
the kids across.
Jar and the Topsy Turvy.
Children, you go next.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I think we can all.
Shabalama
Yeah,
there.
you can have everybody cross in a reasonable amount
I
of
go.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stool across.
Don't
Right.
bring the demons though.
Yeah.
Get the small peeps.
All right. You can just move the ball. You guys won't make it across. The bridge does not
Just like
collapse
randomly-
as you
randomly
steadily
come
and
in,
carefully
it's
move
like it
across.
collapses.
I was waiting for the for
This is like.
Arendelle.
And
After
after
the fifth person crosses,
Right.
collapses.
the whole
Wait,
thing
who's the
collapses.
Seventh person
I
that
was waiting
crosses.
for
You don't. It's no
Darendelle.
reason.
to
All right.
have, like,
Stalactite
much
falls. Bridge
Combat
cuts in
is
half.
over.
I mean, he's like 10 feet tall, isn't he?
We're waiting for one of the people to betray us.
Here's
Chink.
here's some food for thought.
Well,
Should we
Darendelle's halfway across.
break the bridge?
No.
No.
Might impede any
It also
followers.
ends our escape route in the event that whatever's up ahead.
Fair point. Continue.
All right.
Maybe we should write. We did not come this way.
It's too late. We cannot push any of the bodies down.
In heat,
We've left our trail.
In heat.
I mean,
then they'll know it's not us.
you're just on the other side of the bridge. There's nothing preventing you from going back across the bridge.
So we'll keep. Let's keep moving forward. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's an exit like right here, right? Is
Well,
it
we
like-
don't
yeah.
know. No, we just got here.
Yeah.
So on the other side is a very similarly shaped, ledge leading up to a singular tunnel.
Okay. Should we get a marching order going again?
Just in marching order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say what it is, really.
All right.
Cool. I'll tag along at the back again. But I think we should continue to move forward
Yeah.
through the door.
Agreed.
Door or doorway.
All right.
Well, through the opening.
Okay.
And so
There's a door.
so we're not getting rid of the demon bodies
Good-
and not
good
and leaving
catch.
the bridge.
No.
Okay. So everything stays as
It's
is.
time. We want to get away from here.
Gotcha.
Move forward. Which of the Underdark citizens speaks Common?
Shushar speaks common.
We did just spawn out.
Did we?
Did we?
Oh, we were
I was
about
going to
to.
ask about, but I'm just going to run out next to Shushar and talk with him.
Okay, so did you have him spore or no?
No, he's not. We have enough to support him.
Okay.
So I'm going to run out next to Shushar and like while we're walking forward through this new entrance. Shushar, from what you know of the Underdark, are we still in what's considered Drow territory?
There is no part of the Underdark that is entirely free of the Drow. At least not the wilderness.
Okay.
But the Underdark wilderness belongs to many creatures.
Gotcha. Okay, so we won't find things that are necessarily loyal to the Drow looking for us down here, but things that are looking for us for their own intentions.
Loyalty to a Drow is a very fleeting concept. You will not find many who are willingly loyal to the Drow, who are not part of a Drow family themselves.
Thank you. We'll continue to be on the lookout.
Okay. So yeah, you guys proceed. You're in another basically maneuver tunnel. There's no splitting off. You still get the feeling you're going down from this tunnel. It's very very steady decline. And in this tunnel, For a long time, it's total darkness. There's no, again, the occasional tiny, like, glowing fungi like sneaks in. Because life finds a way. Over the course of the next several hours, you get one more green rock.
Yes. I picked it up already.
Sure. You now have 4 green glowing rocks.
Minus the one I gave to him.
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, you have one now? Okay.
And we dropped one.
No, we picked it up back. Ah, it was really
I'm
nice.
very pleased.
Keep in mind, each of them will only glow for about a week, just to note.
A 10-day.
A 10-day.
No,
you're
more
fine.
days
All
out.
right. Value. Cool.
So starting today, I'll mark down their date.
Okay.
The date is
The date is 4 days
4
after
days
leaving.
in an arc.
So I'm gonna mark
Date is
down.
day 5.
I'm gonna mark down. I'm gonna assume we ate while we
You
took the
eat
short
both
rest because we
Underdark?
haven't eaten yet today.
Yeah, go ahead and mark down your rations for the day.
And how many rations do we eat? 'Cause Stool doesn't
28
require,
pounds.
but we don't have what's his face anymore.
Yeah.
Brow guy.
Serene.
26 pounds.
Yeah.
penny and diamond, baby.
Okay, cool.
If only we could read that
Plus water.
stupid.
We have 12 gallons of water. How many gallons of water should we mark down? 3.
I thought.
What?
I thought we were tracking water.
That's we haven't really been.
You're fine on water.
Okay.
I think it's been part of the resources.
I can
My
create-
assumption was that we figured if we had enough food, we would also have enough water in it.
Right, and is it a spell?
Yeah.
Leveled spell for you? Is it a
Level,
okay.
yes, level 1 spell. So I
Okay.
can do that once every long rest.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it takes a spell slot, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So you guys keep on going through this tunnel, and eventually, it starts to be ever so slightly illuminated. It's like a yellow green glow. It's not even like coming from a particular source. It's almost like if you walked into an incredibly thin fog cloud that was just sort of, instead of just being like the misty gray color that fog normally is, it's like a pale luminescent like yellow green color.
I can see.
Shershaw, what is this light that we're seeing right now? I thought that all of the Underdark was
Dark.
Dark.
Sorry for questioning.
It mostly is. There are certain plants and fungi that have a tendency to glow a little, but usually it's just dark.
What would give us this abundant, for lack of better terms down here, light that we're seeing?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Are we maybe near Stool's home, or where others of his kind may be?
We have stool
You
spores.
recall that when talking about possible destinations, that Neverlake Grove was much further away than Slubladop. It was like the same kind of trek that it would be going to Gracklestew or Mesobaronzon or Blingdenstone.
So we're covered in this, right, fog?
Yeah, I mean it's just in the air all around you. It's not even like you don't even really feel it.
telepathically.
Huh?
Can we communicate telepathically? Like,
Are you spored?
That's my question. Has this glowing stuff spored us?
No, it's not. It's not that kind of like. When Stool does his spores, it's like dots. This is almost like a stationary, like gaseous kind of
Like
like
mist.
mist, almost mist, but like walking through it, you don't accumulate like bits of water and things like that. It's just this weird like glow that just permeates this tunnel.
Yeah. Can I signal Stool to spore us so that we can ask him about it?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you guys gather close for a second and spore.
Is this our last? This is the last floor.
I don't think we haven't used
the
it.
rest of the day.
Yeah, we were talking if we would actually use it.
Yeah, the demon kind of.
Indeed.
Uh,
Well, what are we doing this for?
do you know what this is?
Me? No. Not from here.
Well, Stool, how about you?
Well, I've seen it before, but closer to home, but I don't know what it is.
Is it? Do you know if we should be worrying about it?
I mean, I've walked through it before, and I don't think anything happened.
That's fair.
He is a mushroom, you're not wrong.
What if we all become
Good
mushrooms?
job. What about you?
It could be cute.
Do you recognize this?
I've seen it a few times, but I couldn't tell you what it does, what it is.
It's never caused you any problems.
None that I can tell.
And let's
I think
continue.
we just keep going.
Caution be damned.
Only one way to go.
Does this light or fog block our vision in any way? Other than
It provides
It illuminates.
Just
Yeah, you can you can see the whole tunnel for the first time in a while.
the whole time.
I mean, it's just a tunnel, but yeah, you can see the whole way around it. You can see in front of you for the first time in a while.
All right. Let's continue on.
Is there any way to kind of give a swoosh to see if I can move it?
I mean, your hand goes through it, but there's nothing.
Material.
You don't feel anything make contact with your hand.
I think if everyone in the Underdark seems to think that it's harmless and fairly common,
I want to carry this with us.
Take out a jar.
Zatsuel fills a balloon with it.
Yeah.
Takes a deep breath.
Do I?
It's the game.
Oh, does it move with her breath?
No. You can't do anything that
Continue.
visibly disrupts it that you can tell.
Okay.
All right.
Let's cross.
So I want to keep moving while I can see.
I agree.
All right.
This is the first time it makes one of
Well,
clear vision.
It's just I appreciate your inclusion,
Just
but
us.
they can all see.
they're all.
Eldith? She can't see in the
She
dark.
didn't know, didn't she?
Elith is a dwarf.
Dwarves have dark vision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I mean, they're all underground all the time.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is too. It's metal.
I know.
Good to see you.
Hey.
But actually, though.
Well, we also just had the super bright light from
That's
the
true.
torch. So.
Okay, so you guys still moving at your usual fast pace?
Fast pace.
Fast pace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta get gone.
Continue for another day.
Yeah, so I mean, you can spend several more hours going through this tunnel, but it just keeps going.
All right.
Okay. Continue follow. Well, Shimshar, do you still have a feeling about this? Do you have any idea if we're going? I mean, I know there's no other way to go, but is this seemingly leading somewhere?
Well, all of these tunnels lead somewhere.
True. That is a phrase. I guess we're going somewhere. Continue on.
We're still heading approximately the correct direction.
Okay.
But traversing the Underdark is often art more than science.
Interesting. All right.
So let's just
So you guys can keep going on for several hours, but
Eventually, we get tired and.
right, eventually you'll basically have been traveling on foot for 12 hours today.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And you're making better progress than usual because it's a tunnel, it's flat, but you're still just in a tunnel.
yeah.
Right.
So after however long we're able to walk forth, I think it's probably time to set up camp.
In this narrow tunnel?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't.
You haven't seen
Do
any
we
of
have
split
any
off
other
or any
options?
escape. Yeah.
Are you still surrounded by the donation?
Yes.
This is fine.
I can see.
Is it getting brighter at all, or is it staying consistent?
No, it's consistent
Okay.
throughout.
And was it all of a sudden, like, we just kind of all of a sudden noticed that this is glowing, or was it like a fade?
It sort of faded in.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a point where you're definitely like, wait, like,
I can
what I can actually see now. This is super strange.
Okay. Fellas, let us take a rest, and we'll continue. You know, we have the good fortune that we can all see if anything's coming at us, and as long as we keep watch, we should be able to be ready for anything coming either direction.
I concur. This
Not
is
much to.
a good opportunity.
It's not. It's
for us
not
to
very
talk
tall,
about
is it?
I mean, it's not super high, like 8-foot tall cavern.
Perfect.
Yeah. So not much.
I
not
mean,
much room
it
for
fluctuates a
anything to
bit. Sometimes it
sneak
gets a
up
little
on.
shorter, and Darendel has to squeeze a little bit. Like it'll go down to like 5 feet. Even you guys have to duck down just a teensy bit. But usually it doesn't last too long. It's still, it's consistently inconsistent.
Perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, you can wait until you find a part where it widens a little bit, so you have a little more room and sort of put out your bed rolls and
Maybe a straight shot so that we can at least get a good view if something's coming.
That's fair, yeah. You guys can. How do you guys sort of like set up your sleeping arrangement?
So I think
Probably similar to
I
a
think
walking
we should.
order.
Yeah. We should lay down side by side to take up as little space as we can and
A
leave.
giant party spoon.
Exactly. 100%.
There should at least be a pathway, so do not step on each other.
So maybe in twos, like
Mhm.
how wide is the cavern?
You can find a place that's eventually that's like a little closer, about 10 feet wide, so you
Okay.
can sleep side by side with
Okay.
enough room.
Yeah, let's set up side by side. Let's set up side by side along the sides, and whoever's up keeping watch can walk up and down the middle and make sure we're looking at the directions.
Okay. Yeah. So who's doing watches?
I'll take.
Bupito is definitely not taking a watch tonight because
No,
he
he
needs
does.
to heal up.
Wickham, would you mind taking another watch?
No, take one.
I will also take a watch tonight.
I will take second.
All right. If everyone's so willing
Look,
to
you must
stay
save
up.
your voice.
All right.
It's very encouraging.
He's not wrong.
Something like that.
Do not feed with that. Go to sleep.
Okay. So who's first watch?
I agree with Satu.
I think Wickham and I, right?
Yeah.
So, Wickham, I wanted to. After our last fight, you seem to be gaining even more control over these powers.
Yeah, they're getting a bit stronger.
I can tell. How do you feel like you're able to match them as they grow?
To what now?
Can you match the control over them as they become stronger?
So far, it seems. Time will tell.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that's? Have you noticed anything new about your powers lately? Or at least in our last fight.
I felt like I could. I feel like I can do more, but the opportunity hasn't presented itself yet.
Okay. We'll make sure you're able to keep control over it as you use it.
Yeah, of course.
And remember, I want to help you if you need it. But
You wouldn't happen to know what, or have heard of, the Pantheon of Chaos, have you?
I kind of like step back, like.
Did you try asking the shadow demons earlier?
No.
You're sleeping.
It's like
That was out of character.
I am-
Leave me alone.
I'm familiar with the danger that they often carry.
So they're bad then.
They're chaotic. They're not. They can be. They're not. Stop me if I'm saying this wrong, but I'm thinking.
Just roll a religion check.
Okay. 17.
You have not heard that phrase used before.
Okay.
Like not.
Not.
It's clear that what he's talking about is a specific
thing.
set of things.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so like a pantheon is like a deific pantheon is like Bahamut is part of the pantheon of gods of Faerun, of the Sword Coast, of
Got it.
The Forgotten Realms.
So the Chaos Realms are a specific other set.
So there's not really. There are multiple outer planes that are chaotic in nature.
Okay.
Some are they range from chaotic good to chaotic evil.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're not.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a specific like deity or like set of deities that are known as like the pantheon of chaos that you're aware of.
Okay. So.
And yeah, do you guys do anything else before
Yeah.
you take your long rest? Because you'll get your spells back and whatever else. No. Okay.
And I'm done with that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to think about this.
Okay.
Zato, you do
I
anything
seem
before
very
you go to
lost in my
bed?
thoughts.
Yeah.
You do anything before you call it a night?
No.
No?
Other than spice some of my rations. No.
Fair enough. You do anything? No? Just going into your trance?
Yeah.
Okay. Please roll me some perception checks for your evening watch.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's 7.
Whoops.
12?
We're not paying as much attention in this tunnel. It's okay.
Very concerned with the fact that he looks concerned.
It's lit up. It's straight. We're like, yeah,
Right.
it's fine.
Why can we bet on our one?
The whole day that we were traveling, I kept like lagging behind, like, oh shit. Better catch up. Okay. And lagging behind again. Okay, so my day was like the 12. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And somehow I'm less aware than that.
But yeah, nothing.
Very concerned.
Yeah.
Nothing happens during your part of the watch. You don't. I mean, random tiny cave noises that are amplified because they travel and reverberate a million times through these little tunnels, but tiny little droplets of water, but nothing major shows up.
Fire beetles, no shadow demons, no.
Nope, no shadow demons.
Hey, how about that? Offshoot question. Do I have to be holding a book of shadows to dismiss it?
Not necessarily.
Like, could you vanish it out of your bag?
I could put it on a table or my bag and just make it disappear.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a huge reason why not. So yeah,
Okay. I bet, yeah. But
still in action, but yeah.
I mean, if anybody like, it doesn't matter, I suppose. But that's 100. Okay, but good to know.
Okay. Yeah, second watch.
Do whatever.
You guys tapping in?
Okay, here we go.
Go back to sleep. You're asleep.
I turned it sideways.
Okay. You lazy. Lazy sleep inner. No, I'm just kidding. I totally would sleep all the time. Yeah, perception checks.
Uh-oh. 5.
12.
Hey, at least same max rolls.
Yeah.
Should have inspired us.
Yeah, it would be expired by now. He was asleep. He says in his sleep. Yes, you. Most of your shift goes pretty uneventfully. Shishar is still sort of he's sitting up in his meditative trance. Sorry, not like a trance like that, but he's meditating. He doesn't just like lay down and go to sleep like the rest of the bunch. But
Who's sleeping?
he's very much at his center. The Goygoth still snores every once in a while. Just a little, kind of how a dog will do every once in a while. He'll wake himself up and go back to sleep. Stool is cuddled up beside Eldith. Topsy-turvy again, are sort of like paired off on their own. They're like at one end of the line of sleeping positions. And yeah, you guys do anything during your watch aside from watch? Squint harder.
Burn holes through the wall.
I passively perceive things even better.
I tell them to the surface.
But yeah, no, the night passes. Excuse me, the time passes because the light stays the same. Yeah, and eventually people start sort of naturally stirring from their sleeps. And now I need everybody to roll all together now. Roll a wisdom or charisma check, whatever's better.
Yo, come on. Fuck. I'm gonna add 10 to that.
Does War God's Blessing let you do that?
Yes.
To saving throws?
Oh, a saving throw? Never mind.
This is a saving throw?
Yes, sorry. It's a wisdom or charisma saving throw.
Oh, so I don't add the modifier, I'm going to add the saving throw requirement.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is the modifier plus
Your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in that type of save.
23.
4.
No, yeah, I can't do that.
That's roll.
I cannot tell what is going on in my face.
Wait, okay, sorry. 12?
Well, you're squinting.
9?
8.
8?
15.
Okay.
23.
Alright. Kelpis,
Are we more other now?
Pedo, Daragor.
Look yourself, don't sleep on this shit.
Man.
I don't know about you guys, but I had a great rest. Feeling great this morning. I don't feel like anything's wrong.
Okay.
I will lose.
Anyone that rolled that had above a 20 is actually just dead on the spot.
Yep, you got me. That's how I was going to do it. So.
From our standpoint.
We started rolling.
I mean, inconvenient, but kind of cool also.
I also don't
I'm
know
a
how
mushroom
charisma
now.
prevents that.
Hey, quit
So Zatuo, Tyr, and Turby. Poor Turby.
But not Topsy.
You all
Thank goodness.
gain a level of madness.
Oh, fuck.
That seems bad.
Is madness like, does that mean is that confusion or like?
I will tell you what yours is in a second.
Yikes.
Oh, there's a whole madness table, buddy.
Oh, God.
Man, this is fun.
So for the next 10 minutes, Zatuo, you retreat into your mind and become paralyzed. You just like fall to the ground.
So, do
Uh,
we notice a difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's just meditating, guys.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him do this before.
It's not too good enough, Moscow.
Tyr?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. That's not what happens to you. I'm like rolling a d20 on a table for 100 things. I'm like, man, that's crazy that they're both in the same thing. Well, 1 to 20 is a category, so. Zatuo, you are incapacitated, and you spend the next 10 minutes weeping,
Oh.
just crying,
Oh.
crawling your eyes out.
Okay, this I haven't seen him do. This is new.
You experience vivid hallucinations.
I'm just as surprised as you.
And you have disadvantage on any ability checks you make during this time.
Wait, so what's his thing?
He experiences some very vivid hallucinations. Just picture, what's the really famous trippy artist who makes like crazy
Salvador
movies? Yes.
Yeah.
That is like what's happening to you.
Guys, we shouldn't have
Your
come
mind
into
is
this
being
fog.
completely blown. And poor Turvey. What's happening to
Why?
him?
Turd?
Turvey. What?
Is it Turby the girl?
No,
No, Topsy's the girl. Turvey.
Fuck.
Got him. Turvey
Come on, Topsy's awesome.
can't even get up after he wakes up, but he's paralyzed. He cannot move. Just paralyzed in his own mind.
Are you guys feeling okay?
No.
Here, what's wrong?
No.
His face is Picassoing right now for you.
Yeah, your eyes are sliding.
My eyes are.
No.
Does anyone else see my eyes sliding?
Topsy starts to panic because Turvey's literally not moving. Turvey, are you okay? Come on, wake up.
Wickham,
Wake up.
can you go talk to Topsy?
Sure.
She's the girl.
I had that right.
Don't worry, Wickham knew. Stefan did not.
Right. Let's go with that.
What did you say to Zatuo last night?
We didn't
You
even speak.
guys spent 4 hours together, and now he just starts crying. And I thought I had vicious mockery.
At this
That's
point,
good.
I couldn't even tell you what's going on.
Just it. Am I able to
Jim Jaw.
figure out that
Somebody.
it's the fog? Is that a reasonable?
Well, we don't even know. We're just
Since
thinking that
we
it's
as
the
players
fog.
don't know that.
Shushar pipes up. He's still in his meditation pose. And he says, "A dark chaos permeates the air of this place. I believe the glow that we are within is likely the cause."
I'm gonna use. Can I use Divine Sense?
Out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What's it do? To do what?
I sense Celestial, Fiend, Undead, Consecrated, Desecrated within 60 feet.
Do you get all of those, or I think you usually have to pick one?
And it's a slash list. Well, I guess.
Well, is
Sure.
Is madness something that I'm kind of aware that I'm going crazy, or is it like so vivid that like I just?
I mean, in the moment, you're not like, "Oh man, I'm going crazy." Like you're just seeing this weird, like
Is it?
Yeah.
Like is it?
you're
something-
you're tripping. You're just completely tripping right now.
So it's not like I'm. It's not like I'm clawing up the walls I need to get out of where I'm at. It's just that like.
No, you're just hallucinating. It's
Okay.
not. It's not like, "Oh god, I gotta get out," panic or anything like that.
Okay.
That was probably another one on the table.
Gotcha.
It's any. It's not specifically one.
It's any.
And he knows what they are.
Not
specifically just what.
I know
What's
it's
the
like
range?
60 feet.
60 feet. List off all the things it senses again.
Suspicious.
Celestials, Fiends, Undead, Consecrated, Desecrated.
Celestials, fiends, undead, consecrated, desiccated.
You're laying down here.
Why is stool so
Here,
tall?
just stand up, and he'll be shorter again.
Did you have some encouraging words, songs that you can use to
So,
cut this?
I start strumming on.
so using your divine sensibility, you don't sense anything like there's nothing strong in your range with this ability. The only thing that stands out is an extremely faint aura that's actually around Wickham.
Of course it is.
But it's not. So you're a long-time professional paladin. You've used this ability many times before.
Yeah.
It would be looking very differently if Wickham just like was a demon or like was something.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little different. But that's all you get from Divine Sense.
Gotcha.
So my thought is, there's a dark presence around us. Let's go somewhere else.
How do you propose we do that? He's tweaking out. He's crying uncharacteristically. And meanwhile, the child can't move at all.
You're supposed to be the holy knight. Are you able to cleanse them?
Well, I could attempt on Tyr, and perhaps he has something within his skill set.
Look at your... roll a medicine check.
I'm approaching Turby eventually here.
Sure.
I see dice.
Yeah, you can catch up to him while he's trying to figure out what the hell to do.
15.
This is breaking the fourth wall.
Holy shit. I see a room with strange contraptions. Paper on the table.
What's going on? I see myself on cardboard.
I'm but a pawn piece in some game.
We're all pawns in their game.
There's giants.
Huge. Yeah, so you don't know, you don't think that your lay on hands ability would have any effect in lifting the madness?
Unfortunately, it appears not within my power.
Well, Turby, when you get over to Turby, when you get over to Topsy and Turby, Topsy's kind of like, she's crying, but it's like the cry of someone who's like trying really hard to like be strong. She's kind of like sniffing and fighting it back, but there's still a couple tears to go cheeks.
Come on, what's the matter?
He won't move. He won't. Like he's awake. His eyes are open, but he won't move.
I sort of just like put my hand on his like. Can I just like give him like a very rudimentary like, is he breathing okay? Is his heartbeat like not?
Sure. Yeah, we roll a medicine check.
I'm not looking for like trying to diagnose this, but 14.
Yeah. No, he's very much alive and seems to be not physically harmed.
All right, Topsy. Just they said something's going on with this fog. One of us is crying. One of us is going apeshit. It's probably gonna be fine. I'll carry him. We just need to get out of this mist. All right. He's fine. He's just
Okay.
Just can't move right now.
No. It specifically says weeping. He's not hysterically crying. He's just like, you've never seen
weepy.
someone be more singularly sad in your life.
Just
than Satsuo in this moment.
Not to it. What's wrong?
Tears.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Speak up.
Yeah. Stop wasting so much water.
Take my water.
Put it under his chin. Not really.
And while you're weeping, you're just having like random flashbacks to you know where.
You know what you do, gosh.
That's not what I meant to do.
But yeah, you guys try anything?
Can we try to
Tyr,
I try to move at least Tyr, get him to walk with me.
I'll help you.
Walk with you to where?
Well, I think we should continue on.
I concur.
We have no idea how long this is going to last, and I doubt that keeping him in this fog is going to.
His head looks like a dragon.
Ah! Stop!
Stop what?
Oh wait, excuse me. Yeah, his head looks like a chromatic dragon.
I was going to say, can I get
Oh
a
my.
specific dragon?
You didn't tell me that you were him?
Wait, what?
Or certainly, I don't know. Never mind.
I'm sorry. So, metallic dragons are good dragons.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, brass. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. And chromatic, like red, blue, black, white,
Oh.
green, are typically evil.
Okay.
So
Platinum.
So
That's what I was
Bahamut.
thinking. Okay.
Right, Bahamut is the platinum dragon.
Got
He's
it.
like the deity for good dragons
Got it.
generally.
My
The
bad.
flip side of that is Tiamat, who has 5 different colored chromatic heads and is sort of the sort of the patron.
So a good guy.
patron.
No.
Yeah, totally. No,
Yeah.
she's great. She's great. No, she's just like super chaotic evil, but you know, it's okay.
Whatever, it's fine.
But yeah, so he appears as a chromatic dragon to
I
you.
am going nowhere with him.
He runs away from you. Doesn't just like sprint down the tunnel, but just
that way.
Don't shake.
I'm just gonna let him. I'm gonna let him run.
Is he running backwards or forwards?
I don't know which side he was on.
He's
But you're
he's
right.
not
running up the
sprinting
wall.
away.
It doesn't matter.
I'm carrying.
Can I?
Trinity.
Can I? Ooh! As he runs the other way,
supporting
can I
Joshua
cast
with
a minor
one arm.
illusion to make me appear in front of him on the other side?
You can pull up minor illusion. I don't know how big a minor illusion can be. It
5
might
foot cube.
5 foot cube. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cool. So he starts running backwards the wrong way, the way you came from, and roll a d20 for me real quick. Tell me what you get.
5.
An image of you appears right in front of him. It's his spitting image, probably a little shorter. Oh, no. That's depressing. Sorry, that was probably super loud.
Yeah.
We're vibrating the table a little bit. God, I'm really afraid for your ears now.
Let's see what that was. Hasn't happened yet.
So he's ahead of me.
It wasn't that loud.
Okay, good.
It was actually pretty funny. It was like,
Crisis averted.
it was actually a satisfying sound.
A
You
5.
should clip it and then just.
I have no idea
Right.
what 5 means.
I don't know. Do I run straight through you?
I appear in front of you.
I mean, it looks like the same being that appeared to you as a dragon, who still appears with the head of a chromatic dragon, is now in front of you again.
Okay, I do one of the cartoon things where stop and
Stop.
lean forward
Turn
and then
down.
just fall down. I can't go anymore.
Yeah, you just fall over. You can't even. You're looking at the ceiling, and it's dancing and
Yeah,
swerving.
there's nothing to do. I accept my fate. I'm just holding my symbol. I'm just waiting to die.
Can I just blindfold them?
Can I roll persuasion on them?
Sure.
Can I roll intimidation?
I'm trying to persuade them. 23.
I mean, what are you persuading them to
I'm
do?
trying to convince them to calm down and to follow us.
Yeah, no, you still look like a dragon.
All right, we're stuck here.
But does it work on the other two?
I mean, sorry, let me double check what it says.
Am I incapacitated?
Like we got
You have the status incapacitated, so you're not. Yeah, let me.
Well, I'm not supporting you.
No,
You're
you're
not. Now.
Yeah, incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. So, also, I guess you theoretically could move, but you literally are just head in hands bawling. But after sort of struggling with it for a little while, eventually it wears off, and everyone is able to calm down.
I still see a tongue flick out of his mouth he's
That's the last thing you see before your vision returns to normal. And Anson, you remember that you remember the mission that you put yourself on, and the sadness that you were feeling moments ago once again turns into determination and steely resolve. Turvey can move again. Topsy's very relieved, and Wickham's very surprised when it happens. Oh God,
Put him down.
I don't know what happened. I just couldn't move.
What was wrong with you?
What was wrong with you?
What were you running from?
You were a dragon. Okay, I know what that sounds like, but it did
It was
happen.
not a dragon.
This whole thing would have been much easier if I was a dragon.
I don't think so.
I mean,
So yeah, this spell of madness seems to have subsided.
What happened to me?
Before we discuss anything, we need to keep moving because
We can talk on the way.
Clearly, this is not something that
So
we
let's-
can remain in.
Let's pack up camp, continue on, and we can talk about my dragon-headedness on the way.
Fine.
Double time.
Double. How are our resources?
We can go one more day fast travel.
All right.
So yeah, actually we can go 2 half rations.
And maybe we should if we're still in this
Fast
weird fog.
travel.
Okay, you're on fast travel through the tunnel?
Yeah, but
Get out of here.
Skyrim style.
Gone.
Cool. You guys travel for probably about another 4 or 5 hours or so, and eventually the glowing field starts to dissipate, become a little more dim, and you do start not being able to see very well again.
So
long, friend.
maybe that
same
light
too.
isn't as
You got
comforting as you
affected
thought
by
it
the
was.
fog.
It was.
If only you crazy people could see in the dark, none of this would have happened.
You could have, well, it allowed you to see my dragony head that much better.
You have one?
I apparently had one.
Whatever happened, it's actually good.
I disagree.
Reminded me of what I needed to do again.
But I'm happy for you that to have it is undeniably not a good thing for 3 of our members to be completely incapacitated in a moment of varying madness.
That's good for me.
Yeah. If you guys keep moving on, you travel for another probably hour and a half, and suddenly there's a tremor.
I look up.
It's this one's a little more, a little stronger, a little more jarring, a little more out of nowhere. It's like more, it's sudden and powerful. The last one like kind of had a little bit of a build up, and this one just kind of it takes you all by surprise. And I need everybody to roll a dexterity save.
1 or 3?
I'm done.
Just one this time.
12.
I'm sure it's better or worse.
That's great.
Yeah, and so you all do your best to dodge out of the way as parts of this tunnel start collapsing.
Oh,
Great.
So hang on your numbers for a second.
Down to it.
don't go in there.
Man,
I like this one.
these guys are killing it on their saves.
Mine's remarkably average.
Nice. Pretty good.
We're doing okay.
Okay.
My dice arrived at home.
They arrived?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So everybody who, all right, so what were your numbers? 12?
Also 12.
Also 12. 17, 16, 20.
Nice.
Okay, so
Man.
Nero?
No.
No.
Yes.
No, wait.
Just-
No, sorry, you were a 16. He was a 12.
No, I was 17.
Sure, yeah, it doesn't matter.
He was
He was the 12.
I was the 12.
So Tyr and Wickham with your 12s, as well as Shushar and Topsy, all take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
8?
Yes, as basically both in front and behind you, the tunnel just caves in on top of itself.
Jeez.
Are we separated?
No.
Okay.
But we are trapped.
Yes.
Seems great.
At least we're in a tunnel.
Okay. So
At least we're not surrounded by madness-inducing spores.
That's true.
should have been worse. Okay, yeah. So you guys all take 8 bludgeoning damage for those of you who has to save. And yeah, so the tunnel in front of you and behind you caved in. There's a ton of dust floating around in your eyes. Huh?
Can
It's true. You can feel it because assuming your eyes are open, it's literally just like
Those
dirt.
glow sticks. We do have the glow sticks.
Is everyone okay?
No.
What the hell was that? Who built these tunnels? Poor, shoddy craftsmanship, if you ask me.
I gotta agree with it. You there.
So,
Darrendel's like, so uncivilized. And yeah,
Who did they say that to?
just referring to the Underdark in general. No one in particular. He's not pleased.
Damn right.
He's not pleased about the cave in, as well he should not be. So everybody who can see, roll a perception check.
Everybody you can see.
God damn it.
There we go.
Shitty
Count
tonight.
as seeing
What?
her. Do we count as seeing her or not?
No,
No.
you don't. I mean, you don't have your glowstone. You don't have your
You.
weapon out.
That's true.
No, you
I
have.
don't have it ready.
You have the marks on your jackets, but
Oh, I don't know.
He's kicking all the glow
All
stones.
the fun guys have been rubbing on pebbles.
you constantly have that out.
Yeah, it's been
my
using
red
it
one is
like a
been
mini
running
lantern.
every time.
Oh,
I do not have that. I can't see anything.
I've always had the red beetle one in my hand.
gotcha. Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah, 21.
Lucky for you, there was a dull red glow coming from your hand. You see a new opening in the side of this tunnel that was not there before.
Comes out of it.
Oh, tape. Oh no.
No.
Dem dog.
This was not planned.
Totally not planned. Slide that orange one forward.
I have 8
My
points of
forward.
damage for this.
Basically.
Like this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alright, now move them in. So if it collapsed on us, should we be under the?
It makes sense that Zatua would see it.
There we go.
Guys, there is a hole here.
You just reach.
Right. That's it. You see it because it's right next to you. This giant. This
Well, it's perception. He doesn't necessarily see it.
He just,
right?
like,
it's also
True, but I mean, if he has his little glowy rock out, he's a
He's
shot at
just like-
seeing it.
We have some ones I know you like to be.
But I mean, theoretically, there's like echoes and stuff coming from that way now.
Yeah, I can perceive with ears and sense.
Hands.
And
Wait, who
Noses.
who got hit by the falling in? Because they should be by this.
Yes,
thing,
so I-
right?
Shushar, Topsy, and then
Well, I mean,
Tyr
they've been in
and
the middle.
Wickham.
You're hurt.
I got hoided.
He's hurt too.
Got. I got got.
Who else is hurt?
Wickham.
You.
We're
Wickham and
Wickham,
Tyr.
yeah. You and I are not hurt.
Alright, I think
Good for that.
my spells are prepared.
Yeah. You're with the kids. Wait. There he is.
There we go. Alright.
We'll see.
So Kevin has a question for you guys. This next chunk be substantially better served in one go. The question is, can you guys be here until midnight? The answer can be no. But if that's not gonna work, then we should probably call it for tonight.
I'm good for whatever.
Don't if you can't I'm seeing it on your face. If you can't
I
do
have
it,
to
give
get
me
up
a-
at like 5:45 tomorrow.
Well then,
Alright.
So
unless you can
Probably
function on
not,
that.
but
I'm probably happier not playing till midnight.
That's fair. Then okay.
Right.
This is where we leave off for tonight.
wow.
You survived the shadow demons.
That was awesome.
I don't know, we kind of annihilated them before.
Yeah.
We're gonna be.
Y'all had a
Until when
lot of
half
radiant
my body
damage.
was like-
Yeah,
Just
I was looking at the stat blocks, guys. I'm like, man, they have a lot of resistances, and then I was just like, Our cleric knows guiding bolt. They're fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally okay. All right.
Thanks, Kevin. Whoever knows more about this campaign than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be a wrap for tonight.
Coolio.
Anybody have any last thing they want to like ask or do before we wrap up? While we're just in this little tunnel before we call tonight.
I think it
That's-
was good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Then with that, I think.
Sponsored by D6s, things that
We'll
make
say
players
goodnight.
have so little HP.
Yes, sponsored by D6s, the reason we have fragile wizards. But hey, could be worse. We could be playing 3-5 and it'd be a D4.
Oh.
And with that, good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bum, bum, bum.